Yo, yo, yo. It's been a couple weeks here. Got some updates for you if you're interested. Let me just double check because I'm setup's a little weird today. So I just want to triple check that everything is going good. Yeah. All right, we're good. I don't know why I doubt it, but you know, it's just something I gotta do. So, and my mother is sending me pictures of steak. Hang on a second. Um, okay, cool. Appreciate that, Mom. If your mom buys you steak, you're in a good position in life. I got to be grateful for that. Okay, so I did have a weird little experience here as I was setting this up. Like I said, I want to try to make sure that it's working, and it's not working for some reason. Okay, I might have to reload. I want to make sure that the I can get the chat on the screen, and for some reason um my little social thing is not working for some reason. My social stream ninja, which normally works really well, and it's free open source software, so I can't complain about it. But yeah, keep this session. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it. Um, hmm, that's kind of upsetting. Hopefully it fixes itself, or else I'm not gonna be able to put comments on the screen, unfortunately. I don't know. Anyway, the whole reason that I wanted to make this live stream or go live here is because couple things. I didn't live stream last week because I had a child. My wife gave birth to our son Nolan on Mother's Day, May 10th. So it's been a crazy 10 or 11 days. It's been great. He's fantastic. I'll probably make a full video on the second channel. I haven't gotten to it yet, just kind of on that whole experience because that's where I dump that type of stuff. So I don't want to, put a lot of that content over here because I've tried to make this more directionally like niched or concise to some degree on this type of content. Um, so yeah, that's that. But yeah, that's what my last few days here have been like. So I'm a little low on sleep, but not too bad. He's actually been a pretty good boy, so that's good. But yeah, so here's the thing though, is I'm behind on a couple things. Had a lot of really good opportunities that I want to continue to share some learnings from. But one thing very specifically today, I was like last minute and I've been working on a couple of different things and I was like, you know what? I want to do some stuff and this social stream ninja is pissing me off right now because I want to be able to put the comments on the screen and for some reason it is not finding the thing. I might have to try to fix this while I'm doing this. Very irritating to say the least because I really dislike not being able to um I really dislike not being able to put the comments on the screen because I appreciate you guys being here. Hmm, that is a shame. Not sure what's going on. I I know you can't see it. It's just on my other screen here, but I just don't want to. I want to give it an actual try because sometimes you can't do it like when it's offline at first, and then I got on. And I was like, okay, maybe maybe if I sign in, just keep current session, sign out, start fresh. Yeah, let me try it real quick. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can sign in. I don't know if this is gonna work. It maybe this will work. Bear with me for one moment. I appreciate you guys stopping by, being here, watching on the. If you're watching later, just skip this part. Okay, I'll put timestamps in or something. Um, but as I was saying, yeah, I had a child. That's been last days of my life have been heavily influenced by kind of help my wife take care of our little boy Nolan. But I've been behind on some things, and I filmed a great episode for Fueled by Progress with Jake Goldman yesterday. It was a great chat, and I need to edit that. Um, and I figured there'd be no better way. I've come up. There's a lot of things that as with this time off, I've like kind of like thought about a lot more things. Obviously, been thinking about like life a lot more, but I've been thinking about what actually is the meta right now with just where the world is heading. And what I'm realizing is so many people like actually just don't know the first thing about. I don't know what the fuck this thing is doing. It's really pissing me off. It's super upsetting. Um yeah, I don't think it's gonna work. I don't think it's gonna work today. That is so sad. That is so sad. Oh, well. Bummer. Bummer. Yeah, I can't really do anything about this. That really sucks. Well, I guess we're not going to highlight comments today. Damn. Oh, well. Sorry about that. Anyway, let's just focus here. Okay, so here's what I want to do. I want to create a video editing workflow. I've already done this actually to some degree. I haven't made a video about it. I haven't really utilized it in the best way possible. But my one goal today is I want to just brainstorm what I need to do. And then I want to create a simple way to edit different types of videos. And then ultimately I can make another video or share the code or whatever the hell. But that's what I want to do. So I'm going to set the scene for you. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to try to do. And then I'm going to try to do it as live as possible. Probably be here for like an hour, maybe an hour and a half or something. And then I'm going to get back to work. And during that, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of downtime where I'm going to have to talk about some shit, or I can talk about some other stuff in between, because that's the nature of this game. You got to wait for the clanker to do its work. So sound good? David Oss, what's up? Appreciate you being here. Sorry I can't highlight the comments. Don't know what the fuck's going on with my shit, but I'll try to fix that at some point. Okay, cool. Great. All right, let's go to the screen and try to figure this out. And right off the rip, I want to say something as well. Well, first thing I want to say is I fixed I fixed this right here, where I got a new little background, but I also fixed that shadowing issue. So hopefully I updated the OBS plugin, so they fixed it. But for some reason, OBS plugins don't automatically update, which is weird as hell. But anyway, so here's the deal. Fueled by Progress. If you haven't seen it, you should go check it out. I can't chat either because I'm not signed in. Son of a bitch. Okay. But anyway, like, you should go check this out. Fueled by Progress. It's my podcast that I've had for a very long time, actually. It's a long story. I won't bore you with it, but you can go videos and you can go to like oldest, and like way back here, like 5 years ago in my fucking bedroom in my parents' house. Like 5 years ago with my wife, or my girlfriend at the time, wife now. So like just a lot of different conversations here, and really good stuff. It was like a local, podcast, obviously like in my parents' garage and shit. It's kind of funny. But I've had it for a very long time. Before this is like 46th episode. Even before then, I was talking about like just other things that I was kind of like, it was like a solo podcast that was no video. So yeah, it turned into a guest podcast, really good conversations, not huge by any means, but this channel has existed since then. And now I've revitalized it. If you remember, I did like the MJS podcast for like 5 minutes, and I had Medeiros and Nick Sarayev on there. And then I was like, no, I just got to go back to this. Like, this is a fantastic fucking name. Like, I love this. Speaks to who I was. Like, I've come up with a couple really good names in my career now, like Fueled by Progress. I think Motive 11 is fantastic. Just like, so I didn't want to lose it. So it's a little disjointed now because these were posted on my main channel, but is what it is. So yeah. So anyway, what I need to do is very simple. I like these podcasts, like you can see, like it's a podcast. Like, there's the cool thing about having content like this is it's kind of templated and repeatable in some ways. And I got to shout out my my cracked video editor, Nathaniel. Go to elevatedmultimedia.com. We've been working together for a while. He is getting very busy. I'm happy for him. He's exploring like all sorts of different opportunities, and his business is booming. Still use Nathaniel on different projects. I don't want to. What I'm not trying to do here is like make crazy effects. So if you want to if you want all that stuff, you want like edits and shit like that, go to Nathaniel. Okay. I'm not trying to automate that process. I'm trying to automate like an incredibly simple process of videos where it's literally like, basically there's an intro, and then there's maybe a little transition thing, and then it's back and forth the whole time. And realistically, this should not be that difficult. I'm probably not going to finish it all in this go, but the way that I think about it, and I want to just kind of start to, I don't know, meander through some of this and see if we can do some. So like, I'm just going to spitball kind of ideas here. I wish I had a pen. I never, like, I think I really do like writing shit down on like a paper surface. I don't like paper, but I do like, the physical feedback of that. Maybe I will get a little whatever the hell it's called at some point, so I could just write on here. But for now, next best thing is just use Excalidraw and use Whisperflow to kind of think about this. So what I want to do here is I just want to briefly map out. I don't want to spend too much time in this because I already have a bunch of stuff like created, but I want to just think about and before I even dive into this, the reason that I'm doing this is because I've realized, I know I said it a little earlier, but I want to double down on it. The thing I've realized is that so many people, I'm not, maybe you, maybe not you because you're watching this, but there's so many people out there that I am not doing a good enough service towards and for, because there are so many people that just don't understand even how to orchestrate AI. They don't get it. And it's like, "Oh my god, like this is such a huge missed opportunity." Um because they don't even know where to start. They don't know how to start thinking about anything. They don't, because it's like overwhelming, or it's like black magic or whatever it is. And I have just like, for some reason, taken very well to the idea of just ordering a clanker around, which is kind of like the most ridiculous way to say it, but that's what it is. Now you have to know a little bit, but it's just like I've overcomplicated this, and I've realized that, and I don't know if I can't remember if I posted it, I tweeted or whatever, but there's a huge, maybe I didn't, I don't know if I did or not, but it's the idea of using AI in your personal life and in your regular life, or in like like regular tasks, because you see all this shit like, oh, build websites, build web apps, like that's cool. Obviously, I do that, but just like taking it back and making it more simpler, like simple use cases of this to get people's feet wet, absolutely unbelievably under, at least in the stuff that I see, it's like under explored and under educated on. I'm sure it exists. It's just like non-technical type people, they have there's so much options. Like I've told my wife to start using ChatGPT, and my mom and my, like everyone, like my dad loves it. And that's like, baby steps, but it's just like I'm rambling a little here, but my point is that is so powerful. And what I've realized to translate that is that even people that are technical, or in a technical industry, they still could be non-technical and not want to like dive in or play around with stuff, because like they might not have the time, or they might not think that they have the time, but it's really not like that hard. You have to make a decision if you want to do it or not. But like, I think most people, when they realize like how relatively easy it is, it's like, if you're going to talk to a human now in most of these types of fields, you could just talk to an AI and it'll probably do a better job. Trigger warning. I know people are going to be pissed about that, but it'll probably do a better job. So I'm saying all this to say that I think that what I'm about to do here, this kind of like mental mapping of understanding what you want, is still like the skill that's like super valuable. And if I don't do this and I don't show this, I feel like I'm doing people a disservice. And I think this is one of the most highly leveraged things, is literally just showing what's going on. So I know sometimes we talk, and we're going to talk in this live stream as well, but like this is just about, random stuff or whatever. But like this is super impactful, I think, to kind of like see how something like this gets done. And I'm not saying I'm perfect at it, but I've done it many different times, many different projects. So let's try to see what's going on. What I want to do here, this is Excalibur, just simple mind map of kind of like the pieces of my thought process when I think about like doing a flow, right, of video editing. And you know what? Literally, as I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, this is stupid. This is stupid. And and stay with me. This is stupid because there is no reason to start from a blank canvas anymore unless you really want to. So I could hook up an MCP and do this whole Excalibur thing, but I'm not going to do that right now. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it real quick. So I'm going to go here, and then you can do your tool of choice. What I want to do is, oh man, there's too many options. Look, my mind moves at literally the speed of fucking light. So just let me walk you through the 16 things that just ran through my mind in the last 30 milliseconds. I was going to go to Claude, and I was going to say Claude chat, and I was going to say, hey, I just want to have a chat back and forth about this, that, or the other thing. I like that because Claude is a nice interface. It's a cool little way to handle these things. But again, my big shortcoming with Claude is that now I'd have to take that context and that whole information, or bring the markdown file to somewhere else and play around with it somewhere else. What I'm going to do is, I'm not going to start an Excalibur right now, because we could, but it's not necessary. And I don't want to start from scratch, because I don't like starting from scratch anymore. Because even if you are starting from scratch now, you don't have to start from scratch, because you have an LLM could get you so far. You know what I mean? It's not like you're starting from a template. You're starting with a speed boost off the line. You know what I mean? So that's the first thing. Claude Chat, I don't want to play around in there because we're ultimately going to move to Claude Code for this. So I'm just going to skip all that shit. I know it's going to be a little weird, but just trust me on this. If you can get into this workflow and this mentality, I think you can be much better. Also, I will throw this in there. I've been playing around with Hermes, right? And Hermes is cool, and you could utilize that for this, but honestly, I don't feel comfortable enough doing it over there because I'm still working out like some of the things that I don't like about that whole situation. So just disregard that for now. Let me just open up a quick little folder here and we'll get to work. And I know that I sound like I'm all over the place because I constantly try to think of the most optimal solution for some of these things. Um, but you know, there's no optimal solution. That's the thing that I'm learning. So, editing workflow, whatever. All right, something like that. We'll just say video. I already have a folder like this, so I'll show you the difference. But okay. Okay. There we go. Where we go. Trust authors. Get rid of this. Okay. Let me share the screen with you guys and let's get to work. Okay. Forget everything I said. Although I do think that that's like a good way to like think about stuff. It's like there's reason to go into Claude Chat. There's a reason to go into these other types of tools potentially. But for what we're trying to do, we ultimately want to be in here. So we're just going to start here. Like it can do everything. It has access to a bunch of shit. It can create fucking like if we wanted to create like a visual for us, right? It could just create it. Like there's no reason to not be here. This is where to be. This is side note. This is why I hate co-work because, or why I just don't see the reason for co-work is because it's too siloed. I had somebody talk to me about that the other day. It's like you might think, oh, I want to play around with some files on my computer and do some stuff. It's like, bro, just please get to code. Like get to Claude Code. It's not that scary. Talk about it. We'll go into that later. All right. All that said, here's where we are. I want to create this thing. I'm going to talk to this chat, Claude Code in VS Code, just like I would if I was kind of describing what I wanted here. And it's the slightly bad part is it's not going to have any pre-existing context of us because we don't have it linked to any like external services. And like by design, this is why I don't like this, but that's a story for a different time. It doesn't have any of our context, but it has all of the power, so to speak, to do everything that we want to do. A little bit of a drawback. Again, that's why I'm still in the process of dealing with Hermes. But again, one step at a time. I'm going to shut the fuck up now. I'm just going to do we're just going to figure this out. So if you wanted to start from scratch with a speed boost, this is how I would handle this. Okay, Claude, listen. Here's what I want to do. You don't have any of this context, but if you need context, I will feed it into you, okay? Or I can point you to different places, actually, and you could search for it to a degree, all right? I have a podcast. It's called Fueled by Progress. You can go to fueledbyprogress.com. You could potentially search it on YouTube. I don't know if you're going to have access to that, but you could do that. If you want to get a little bit of the context, go ahead and grab it. I can give you more. Here's the deal. I make these episodes. I record them in Riverside. And then the recordings are in there. You know, it has the video files, it has audio files, like whatever. They're separate tracks for each individual guest, like the guest and me. It's typically a guest podcast, so there would be like two things we'd have to go back and forth. It's virtual typically, so there's probably like two camera angles, so the two video files. And what I'd love to do for us is I'd love to create a workflow in which I can give you or point you to all of the information that you need, all of the files and everything like that. And what I want to do here is I don't want you to build anything yet. I want us to think about this, maybe make a markdown file with kind of like a little bit of a plan, okay? And I want to make a workflow where ultimately I give you the inputs, I point you towards stuff, and then we have a lot of different outputs. Now the outputs, this is not an all-encompassing list, but some of the outputs I would want would be, I would want you to create a MP4 file. This is all, I'd want these projects to be in 4K as well. Probably like 30 frames per second, even though I don't know what the Riverside's weird about that. I would want the output. I would want you to look at the transcript, which is in Riverside, but we can get it a different way too. I would want to know I would want title ideas. I would want a description based off of the template that I give you, and you could add in specific, data pieces depending on, like chapters and things like that, little short descriptions. We could go over all that. I would need an MP3 as well, possibly a WAV, a WAV file. I'm not sure. I think we need MP3 though because it's smaller. Because I'd want to move that to Transistor where I host the podcast. The video would go onto potentially Transistor, but I'm not sure yet because they're rolling that out. But the video would absolutely be uploaded to YouTube. And there's probably a bunch of other shit in there that you can ask me about because you are a robot and you know all the stuff, and I'm blanking on some of the stuff right now. But the whole thing is I want to make that I want to make that workflow. Now, I want to give it a little bit more. Now listen, there on my desktop right now, there is another directory called Automate Video Editing that I did something kind of like this already. It was a different use case though. So if you want to go explore it, you can. But here's the deal. Like I said, I want to give you all of the files or point you to the files, and I want you to edit them. I would have like an intro video file that could be a couple little, like a little bit in length. I don't know, maybe like a few minutes. I would have like probably some sort of little tiny animation or some sort of like, I'm not even sold on that. Like maybe like it's an intro that I would be speaking like just as a talking head. And then maybe we'd have another little like animated type intro. I'm not exactly sure on that. And then it would transition into like the conversation, right? The biggest part of that is you would have 2 audio files and you'd have to programmatically switch back and forth. So each one, when the person is talking, it's on their full face. And then maybe sometimes if we're both talking, it would be like a split screen view. Okay. All this stuff already kind of exists in Riverside, to be honest. It just fucking sucks. And I want you to do that. Also be really cool if you could output this into a DaVinci timeline file as well as one of our outputs. I know you can do that. So that would be cool. Yeah, just dumping all this in for you here. Ask me questions. Tell me if you need more context. Again, we're not doing anything yet. Let's just make like kind of a master plan markdown file or something like that that we can go off of. Did I have anything else? I thought I had one more thought that I wanted to put in here. Also, I've realized that this is a very big endeavor. What I really want to create is an end-to-end thing where like I finish recording in Riverside and then all of this process is automated. And then at the end, I get like some sort of notification, not really, but like, I could check it when it's done and I could be like, okay, let me just make sure everything's good. Everything's, like description, everything's good. Everything looks fine. We didn't even talk about thumbnails. There's a very simple thumbnail template that I would love to do here. I realize this is a huge process. I'm not trying to do all of this right now. What I would also love for you to do is like, the reason I started with all this context is I want you to kind of like create the idea of how this is all going to work from a step-by-step perspective. And like a siloing of like different little pieces that we could do, little automations we could do, and then we could bring them all together because it'd be cool if this was modular. But at the same time, this is kind of a custom situation. So I don't know how modular we could make it, but let's think about that. Okay, now I have used plan mode like 2 times in my life. I'm tempted to click it. Because I think it saves tokens or some shit and whatever, but like I also wanted to go do stuff. So I'm gonna be honest with you, like I just haven't done it. So I'm just not gonna do it because I don't know if it's entirely necessary. Maybe there's some reasons. If you know for sure that I should have done it, then you tell me, but I don't know about that. I want to go like this just because it's my sneaky way of making this look a little easier to read. Okay, what do we got over here? What's up? I can't put these on the screen. Sorry, because the thing's broken. I've been wondering the next video. Good to see you. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Wacom, Bamboo. Yeah, or just an iPad. I don't have an iPad or anything, but yeah, I need to get something simple. And then what's up? It's hard to read these. Cyprian, what's up? It's hard to see these names over here too. Sorry about that, guys. The chat experience is probably gonna be pretty shit today. Apologies about that. All right, I'll start by exploring the directory and everything like that. Okay, so what this is going to do is this is going to come over here. It's going to do a couple things. First thing it's going to do is it's going to explore this directory over here. This is a different directory that I've done over the course of a couple times. Hey, can you explain the directory that we have here, like kind of like the workflow and everything we have? I'm doing a live stream right now. I just want to kind of tell them what we have going on, so to speak, from a functionality standpoint. So this is another thing over here. This is a like I said, different directory I've been working on. The thought process here was I do a lot of these videos where I just kind of talk and talk, and I wanted to cut them a little bit and make them like nicer as far as like editing, but I don't want to be in there, and I don't want to, I quite frankly don't want to pay, Nathaniel's fantastic. Go use Nathaniel. But I don't want to pay like a video editor just because like I don't even feel like I feel like it's almost like it's like a silly thing at this point. Like that's not how I think even video editors want to spend their time. Maybe they want to make money like that, but like if I was a video editor, I would be automating the fuck out of that anyway. So it's like, I don't, I mean, the tools even have it built in. Like DaVinci has like a silence deleter and stuff like that. But this is kind of my field. This is what I do, and I wanted to do some of this. So I'm just going to give you the quick rundown on this thing because this is the directory and the pipeline and everything like that the new stuff is going to look at, and we're going to build like something a little more custom. At least for our modular for this thing, but automate auto video editor pipeline. So you drop a file in, get an edited video back. That's kind of the concept here. Silence detection, transcription, filler word detection, retake detection. See, the thing is, I don't need any of that over here. So it's like the thing that I will say candidly, again, because I don't ever tell you that I know everything. I'm navigating this, and I probably know a couple more things than you, or not. Like, in different areas, we could, learn from each other in some ways. But I'm not gonna. But like, the reason I'm saying that is because like I could have just went into this directory and kind of like done all the work here, talk to Claude over here. But the problem is like I have a problem, and this is why I fucking can't fathom the agent, like the runtime agent people yet, like OpenClaw and Hermes. I'm more of a developer than probably like 90% of people at this point because I know all this shit. But even though you talk to a developer and they probably say, fuck you, you're just vibe coding. But like I get a lot of, how do I put it? I enjoy seeing this left sidebar over here, right? With the files and the directories and everything. Because if I don't see that, I feel like I'm just like throwing random commands into a chat bot, and I don't know where anything's actually being built or stored or anything. And that's where I draw the line right now. Maybe it won't be like that in the future, but that's where I draw the line. I can't imagine a world where that actually ends up being like the real, like the norm. I don't know, but because like how are you ever gonna, in what world do you not want to know where your shit is? The whole point I'm making is that I didn't want to go into this directory because I didn't want to, one, mess it up, but two, it's not really organized well yet because I tried to do the one thing, and then there's like a thumbnail generator in there that I also did. So I need to clean this up. And I'm making that point because that's why I'm on the other thing. But I'm also making the point that if you go into these Hermes or I'm talking to people that go into Hermes and they just say, make me a fucking app. And they're just talking to it in Discord or Telegram. And it's just building a fucking app somewhere, like, and deploying it somewhere. Like, that's fine if you want to do that. But like, what are we doing? Like, I know where this directory is. It's on my desktop. And then I push it to GitHub. Not in this case, but in general, I would push it to GitHub, and then it'd be on, Cloudflare, it'd be on Vercel or whatever, right? Why are we, that's where I draw the line, like losing track of shit. And maybe everyone knows where it is, but I don't, maybe I'm missing the point, but like, I like seeing something here so I can like verify and just like feel it. Maybe in the future it won't be like this because maybe it's already moved and I'm just like somehow behind on that. But anyway, that was a long ramble in tangent just to kind of show you what's going on over here. But it's auto video editor, and then it has the thumbnail generator. So it's kind of like two things in one over here. And it's gotten some pretty interesting, like cool results. Because in the thumbnail generator, I had like a template style. And I also had, which I'm probably going to use something like that, because if you realize like HTML and CSS, you could just create shit that looks like a thumbnail in HTML and CSS, then have Playwright snap an image of it, and then that's your thumbnail. You know what I mean? Like, it's easier in some ways for certain things than trying to image gen with GPT 2.0 or whatever. Image gen GPT image gen 2.0. Like, it's sometimes easier than that because the results you're going to get are way more probabilistic than what you would with like a templated style approach for certain things. Like for this, these types of thumbnails over here that I was doing, probably much more. This is much more like templated. So I don't know. Just a couple things to think about there. All right, what do we got here? Let's see here. All right, so it did a bunch of shit. And it says, I now have real context. I don't know, sure. Okay, yeah. Okay. And then podcast workflow is meaningful differently though. 2 camera tracks, 2 audio tracks, multicam. Also, I wanted to tell about Auphonic. I didn't remember that until I just clicked to the Chrome window. How should this project relate to the existing pipeline? Fresh project, reuse modules? Yeah, probably. Yeah. Pipeline oppos. Yeah. Oops, wait a second. Are those 2 different things? Oops. Okay. Manually drop, watch folder, recommended for V1. Yeah. See, like I'm tempted to go here, but I don't know if Riverside's API is good. I don't know if I fucking have it on my plan. That's another random thing that you run into all the time is like now you have to see like this is so irritating. It's like you use all these cool tools and now it's like, oh, you have to be on the fucking business enterprise deluxe plan to get API access to the shit you want. It's like, goddamn, man. Multicam. I'm not sure if that's with Riverside, but just in general. What should it feel like? Relaxed, hold on a speaker, split screen, Unreal overlap. Yeah, audio cleanup, Riverside's enhanced audio export. There we go. Where's other? Yeah, we could try with Riverside at first, I guess. I would like to do Auphonic because I know Riverside's so bad when you have the echo cancellation on, and I know that the audio is going to be really low on some of this shit. So, yeah, I'm not sure. Fuck. I guess I'll just fucking click this. Fuck it. Whatever. See, it's like I want to just make, you know what I mean? Like it's like, okay, you gotta be careful with this because you can't just go to like version 10, even if you're not the one fucking doing it, because you still have to make sure the thing works. You got to make sure you don't see any like glaring problems. I don't know. Definitely do the plan mode. It's worth it with big tasks. Execute. Excuse will just wiring as it goes. Otherwise, you can correct it where it goes wrong and save tokens. By the way, okay. Should probably use plan mode from now on. It's good feedback. Appreciate that. I will try that more. Okay. Okay. Did we just make money? Hell yeah. I think we did. I'm going to sign. Hang on a second. I'm going to sign a document on my end. Mark Szymanski. I'm going to sign a document live on my end. Well, not live because you're not going to see it, but I'm doing it on my phone. A contract. Which, side note, real quick, because we're all in this together. 2 things. 1, I used DocuSign for a while for my stuff. It's fine. I don't know if it's upgraded at all anymore, but it was shit because like it was just like you had to make the document and then you put it in there and then it just sent it. It felt like a waste of fucking money, honestly. But then I moved to PandaDoc, which is fantastic. PandaDoc is really a great platform. 2 problems I have with PandaDoc. 1, it's kind of overkill for a lot of reasons. It's kind of, I'm not a guy to say shit is expensive, but when you're not, like, you have to be honest with yourself, and if you're not utilizing it, then it just becomes an ROI situation because like it's $60, I think, for like the main thing. I know this is an aside, but I promise it's helpful. So then, like, if you're using that, like, it just becomes like an annoyance when you're like getting the bill and you're not like getting like like you're doing. You could even be doing projects, but you're not utilizing it for all the projects because depending on what you're trying to do, like it's not. It might not be like expensive enough to write and go through the whole PandaDoc process because it's really powerful. Would recommend it. But then the other problem was like it's even more expensive to do cool shit with PandaDoc, like to programmatically create or automate stuff like with their API because you got to move up another plan. So that was the whole thing there, but it was pretty dope. But then the other problem is like it's cool, but it's also like the block editor in a way. Like it's in like you're creating blocks and doing this stuff. And you can, I think, I think you can download as docx or whatever, but I don't know. I had a lot of fun in there, but I probably wasted a lot of time in there because it was a cool tool that I created like different, and I had two accounts too, one for Motive 11 and one for Szymanski Media, whole thing. Anyway, a couple years ago at this point, probably, Google, you gotta be careful when I say the G word around here because I'll trigger some stuff. But they released the request signature thing, like e-signature, like built in. And oh man, I'm not recording this fucking thing. Sorry. I gotta try to see if I can when I stream, I automatically record. Anyway, what was I gonna say? They released that feature, Google Workspace did, and I tried it and it kind of sucked. It's better now. It's still not perfect, but it's better. And I just used it for the first time and somebody signed it and it seemed like it worked well. So great stuff there. And the only other thing I would say is the only other thing I would say real quick is because I believe I just potentially signed up yeah, I think I'm basically one click potentially away from um completely onboarding like a larger like a larger business, like agency that is what I would call like a like kind of design led. I don't want to say like non-technical design led business, but like that does a lot of stuff. And I just want to give you, I want to give you a thought. If you're a smaller operation like myself, you're kind of a freelance vibe, right? Like you don't want to have like a big team or whatever. There is this is what I'm gonna say. If you establish relationships, there's really good opportunities to work with companies that you think have it all figured out, but then you actually talk to them and they're like, oh, they have like glaring problems that you have fixed either in your business or you've like easily how to fix them, right? Like you know how to consult on them, you know how to implement things, what have you. Um, I don't really know what I can say right now with that engagement because it hasn't like fully manifested yet. But as I go through that experience, I will share the learnings. But it's just something that I literally, it was like a eureka moment that I had. And it was like, fuck, like these big businesses, even if they're making multi-million dollars a year, like, maybe that's a lot to some people, not a lot to others. But even if they're making all that money, like they they might not have it figured out. Like their processes and their I don't know how to even say it. Like their grasp on technology or their the limit of what they know might be so much less than yours because like if you're tapped into like this type of content or anybody else that says this shit, like you probably know so much more about what's happening now and how to leverage it. And all I'm saying is that it's not just this is the moment. Okay, this is the thing and then we're going back to it. It's not just the fucking roofer down the street. I'm not saying don't talk to them because they might be an easy sell, but it's not just the roofer or the the landscaper or whatever that is totally out of the bubble. It's actually the people that are literally inside the bubble, but they're not like it's like they're in the house, but they're not in the room. You know what I mean? The other the the service and all that other stuff, maybe they're like, in the neighborhood, right? But like I should make a piece of content about this, but they're in like the neighborhood. These agencies or these bigger players that are whatever, like however they've just decided to get to their point, they might be in the house. And then it's like we're literally in the room that the shit is being pumped out of, basically. Like all of the Claude new shit and all this other stuff that is literally transcending what you can do in a short amount of time and and it's going to continue to move. But yeah, I don't know. I know that was a super random thing to say, but just like I said, I found, I found it through, I've had this, I've had this eureka moment here over the last, few days, and it's great, and I just want to share it with you. Okay, so anyway, done with that. Back to this right off the bat. I don't understand. Like, if somebody, let me just do a quick little thing here. If you were in Hermes, right? No shit on Hermes because I've been playing with it. I need to fix it, and it's very annoying. Like, I got to get it off this computer. I got to get it on VPS or something because it broke while I was at the hospital for 5 days while our son was being born, and I was like, I can't fucking use Hermes for my phone anymore because tail scale thing was broken essentially. I think tail scale was working, but obviously it wasn't working here. The gateway stopped or something. Anyway, this is the exact thing that I'm thinking about though. Like, if you, and maybe tell me if I'm wrong, like if you were in your Discord or whatever, like maybe you could pull this markdown file up, but like I like this experience. You know what I mean? And that was, oh shit, what did I just do there? Oops, I accidentally pasted instead of doing the proper keystroke. Control Shift V in VS Code like shows it in like more of a human readable form. A preview form. You can also do that just by clicking up at the top or whatever. But yeah, my whole thing is like, I like this. And I found in my workflow, at least, I need to do this more often than not, because a lot of times I'll be like doing shit over here. And then over here, I'm like, okay, what did we talk about? Or like, what is our checklist maybe? Or what does our like plan look like? I know it has all that information, but still, like, there's a couple of things like I don't want to type, obviously, and I don't want to click, but I need to see. Like, it's, you know what I mean? Like, it's, we don't have a thing yet where I can like put a wire into that file and into my brain and just siphon the shit in. So I still need to see the thing, right? So my whole thing that I'm saying is that for some reason, I literally don't understand. I barely want to read too. I'm reading a lot more than I was when I was like all like audio first, because it doesn't scale in some ways. Like, I wouldn't even want this thing to read all this to me. But I'm just trying to. I know this is abstract, but I'm trying to talk about like how my workflow has continuously evolved, and then like you hear all the hubbub about the new shit on the block, and it's like, cool, happy, but there's still some missing things, and then like I'm piecing shit together, and it's just a little weird. So I'm gonna try to stay on task a little bit more moving forward here, but yeah. So let's just see what we can do here. So this is our master plan. So our goal. Okay, so we have episodes. Okay, we have inputs. Export semantics. Confirm that. Outputs at a glance. Okay, here's what I want you to do. Hey, all right. So you have a little bit of stuff going on here, right? Is maybe the next can we try to start moving through some of this, and we'll do some like tests and shit like that. I know nothing is built yet in this directory, and I want us to work obviously in this directory. Why don't we start? Would it be helpful for you to start building first? I'm gonna let you decide. Would it be helpful for you to start building first, or would it be helpful for me to bring you in some inputs so you kind of see like what we have available to us potentially first? I would really love to just, I don't know. There's so many meta points here. I could literally write several books on this shit. I wouldn't write it though. I would speak it, but just like in my mind, again, moving at 1,000 miles a second, just thinking about this. I'm big on like going right now, and like I would want to like bring inputs first. Like, I wanted to create, I was thinking like, as I was asking that, just make me a quick little directory called inputs. I'll dump this. I mean, obviously I can make it myself, but I don't do that. I'll dump the inputs in there. I'll tell you where the inputs are. You bring them into the project. We look at them and we go from there. The thing is though, it's like, it pisses me off for some reason to even do that, because I know that if I just, it's like I'm so like elevated. It's like, okay, we could do that. Is there like a meme where it's like, maybe it's the Winnie the Pooh meme where it's like I don't know how it is, like dumb, slightly smarter, like, God tier or whatever. It's like I feel like we're kind of like on the dumb tier with giving it to stuff. It's like I just want to go straight to the God tier where like I just give you access to shit and you tell me what's available, and which I could do probably just through the Riverside API. And then you just tell me what's available, and then we just go from there, right? Because I don't want to be involved in this process. I don't even want a V1. You know what I mean? Like, because I don't want to be downloading shit and like giving you what's necessary. Um, but the problem is like the thing here, the issue is literally Riverside. Let me do this real quick. Let me go to where the fuck is Riverside? Riverside. Move some shit around here. Oh Jesus. Now I've messed up my whole screen. Stop. There we go. Give me a sec. Let me go into Riverside. Let me just see what the API options are. I don't know if there is. I don't know. I'm on the lowest plan probably. I don't know if there's an option for this. Again, why am I clicking around? No idea. I don't think Riverside API. Fucking business. Yeah, is it literally you have to be on the business plan or something? I'm sure it is. Which I understand. I get it. Everyone has to make money. I'm sure it doesn't it costs money to have an API. I don't know the actual pricing structure of having an API going and everything, but oh my fucking god. It's literally look at this shit. It doesn't even have a price. It doesn't even have a price. Man, that is so irritating. Is there an MCP? Maybe. I mean, because it's like the thing is like everybody wants to be in their thing. Riverside MCP. Why am I even fucking Googling this? What is going on here? Riverside FM. Let's go here. Real quick before you do that, can you do some research to tell me like if Riverside has an API? I know they do, but it's on like the ridiculous ass business plan. I literally have the lowest plan. So see if we could do that. Also, while you're at it, do some research, see if there's an MCP for it. Because I would really love to not have to give you these files. I'll do it for V1 if I absolutely have to, but it's just like, I'd rather you just see what's all available so that you know and that you can make the best decision based on what we're trying to do. See, like that's like the most concise way I can say that is like this thing I've given, I tell it what we want to do. I tell it a little bit of the route that I think we should take because I'm a smart person. Like I'm intellectually like I can understand how it would work, but I don't fucking know everything. Like it knows everything. It's probabilistic, but it knows a lot of shit, way more than I could possibly ever know, right? So if we work together, it's the best, mixture, I feel like, of that. But I don't know. It's so annoying. It's so annoying that these I don't know how these companies are going to handle this actually as a side note. Cuz it's like fuck. Doesn't exist. All right, fuck it. We'll do it the manual way. I fucking hate doing things manually. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go like this. This is a trick, okay? So I'm gonna. Well, it's not a trick, but it's how you should work. I'm gonna go. Look at this. Watch what I do here. If you've never done this before, I'm gonna grab 2 file paths now. And on Windows, you can check for yourself. I didn't have to like. You can like go into the settings, but go to the file. Okay, I'll fucking show you here. Look. So like. Well, these are just downloads in my thing or whatever. I grabbed this one and this one. I downloaded these. These are the video files from what's it called? From Riverside. Downloaded them before stream. And I went Control-Shift C, and that copies as path. So there's a difference, right? So you can copy the actual, you can copy the actual file and move it, but I don't know when this got added. It was probably a while ago, but like copy as path, Control-Shift C. That's what you need when you want to do this, right? So what I'm doing here is, again, this is why we don't use Cowork, okay? Maybe you can use Cowork in some cases with this, but this is why, like, I want this thing to have access. If it fucks something up, it's on me. I take full accountability, but it hasn't because I don't tell it to do stupid shit. So what I do here is I say, hey, listen, these 2 files right here are, the 2 files, like one is me and one is my guest, in this case, Jake Goldman. And what I want you to do is I want you to bring these files. Honest to God, you could move them because I don't need them. You don't need to copy them. You could literally move them into an inputs folder or whatever you want to do over in this project. You can examine them and kind of do whatever you want. Let me know what you think. If this changes our path at all, but like these were the ones that I literally downloaded directly out of there. I think I downloaded, there's different types of files in there. I think I downloaded aligned instead of raw video, which should mean they're the same length and they have like appropriate blank space or whatever, but I actually don't think that matters because I think they were the same length anyway. Now that I think about it, it doesn't really matter, but these would be like 2 test inputs potentially that we could use. These are just video MP4 files, obviously. I don't have the audio. If I need to get it, I could. And also, the other thing you'll notice is that I have a combined, master file effectively, but you tell me if you actually need that. I noticed while I was starting that I actually put the wrong thing in here. I just pasted the same one twice. So I'm going to go grab mine. And I'm going to go here. I'll do it like this time. Copy his path. I'll come down here. I'll go like this. Get rid of that. Bang. There you go. I know what to do. I hate you, Riverside. I love and hate Riverside so much. It's a great platform because like the quality is so high, but the user experience of Riverside, and I tweeted about this, and the CEO, who I've never seen or know, he like literally DM'd me. It might have followed me and DM'd me. I don't think he followed me. And sent me a message, and I sent him like a soliloquy back of a few messages, never said anything back to me. It is such a good platform and such a terrible platform at the same time. I've never seen anything like it. The back end is so bad, it's unbelievable. There's too much shit back there. I don't know what it's. I'm not gonna say that I know how to optimize all this shit, but the fucking apps that I've built are faster. They're not as big, but like whatever they did there, they need to rebuild the whole fucking back end. It is so slow. I don't know what it's load. It's trying to load. It must be trying to load every single video file that you've ever made all in one go. It's so there's sometimes there's like problems with like audio and things. There's definitely a lot of audio problems because the way that they handle the echo cancellation. I know I'm bitching here, but it's still like the best that I've found for what I'm trying to do specifically, which is virtual high quality recordings, because fucking StreamYard sucks. All the other ones suck worse, but it still sucks. It's amazing because I'm tempted to try to make something better, but I'm not going to. So yeah, crazy. What's up? What's up? I can't put these on the screen. I apologize, but thank you guys for being here. Kyle, what's up? What's up? My thing is broken today, unfortunately. My chat thing, which is highly unfortunate. If you're just joining and you're watching on the replay, you probably already know if you're on the replay, but if you're just joining, we're trying to create a just a simple workflow, and I'm kind of just talking about a bunch of different things as we do it to go from Riverside, which again, their API is, they're bastards, and it's way up here, probably like thousands of dollars a month. I don't know. But I have a new episode that I filmed here with Jake Goldman, and I want to automate the process so I can, for these types of simpler edit videos, I don't have to do it myself or hire out. Still would do it for obviously more editing focused things. That's a different use case, but these are very templated, very simple, and it'd be cool to make it end to end where like, I have like a, I've already done it. Like I said earlier, like it's already kind of piecemealed together, and we're going to use a lot of that stuff, but yeah, absolutely not. Fuck you. No, we do this in 4K, dog. I don't understand this though. I'll be completely honest with you. I don't understand. Like I've definitely put 1080p footage on a 4K timeline. And I like 4K, and I'm in 4K, so I want the shit in 4K. Mark full screen looks great. Guess noticeably softer file size. Yeah, I'm a big YouTube vanity guy. Yeah. I don't need to do that. It's such, I could bitch about Restream literally all day, or not Restream. I could bitch about Restream too, but I don't use Restream anymore. I could bitch about Riverside all day, and one of the things is you can't change your fucking frame rate. I guess it's 24. I thought it wasn't 24 actually. I moved them now. I guess we'll just, whatever. I don't care. It really doesn't matter. I just don't want it to have those artifacts and be messed up and do extra shit. It's just like I don't understand why. Oh fuck. You know what? That's the thing though. It's like, hang on a second. Let me do this. Listen, I'm fine with it being 24 to match the source, but here's the problem. It's like Riverside is such a piece of shit, doesn't let you change the frame rate. And I guess you're telling me that those are 24. So that's fine with me. But the shitty part is that when I go to record, after the video is done, I go and I record an intro, like a just like a candid, kind of like honestly heartfelt in a way, like genuine, like 2 to 5 minute intro where I'm talking about the guest and kind of like why I wanted to talk to them and all that sort of stuff. And we would prepend that before the conversation. The issue is I film all my shit in 30 frames per second in OBS. And it's a great workflow. It works great. I stream in 30. Like, what the? I have no solution for this. Are you going to be able to do that, or is there going to be a problem if I give you a 30 frame per second? Because I really don't want to change my fucking frame rate every single time I record one of these intros. So irritating. So irritating. And this is a bug, I think. Yeah, I think this is a bug. Maybe not. Now that works now. Okay. I could have sworn that was a bug before. It's at least a little weird UX there. Audio source for V1. Use embedded or grab separate downloads. Use embedded audio in the MP4 is recommended for V1. Higher bitrate audio per speaker. More work per episode, but marginal for improvement. Worth it if you... I mean, I know his audio is going to be bad. Let me just see real quick. We go to here, maybe, and here, and this is how the sausage is made, y'all. It's not that glamorous. It's not 15 minutes. It's not 15 minutes of fucking weird presentations and slideshows. Let me see here. Can we stop moving for a second? All right. It was down. So if you download this raw audio exactly as recorded locally, no changes. Compressed audio. Does it download the audio? I gotta be honest. I don't think I compressed the. I don't. Let's just do it. I'm gonna be honest. I don't. The ones that I gave you, they were like the raw video. They weren't the cloud video or anything. I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical to think that I could get any better audio out of Riverside. Like, I don't think there's a way for me to download it out of there. You could tell me if I'm wrong, but I don't think there's a way to get anything better separate. Like, I see a WAV file and I see an MP3 that I can download, but I almost feel like the video that I downloaded and gave to you is the same thing as what I would download as the high quality audio. So maybe those are just good enough. I guess we just try that and see how it goes. Honestly, I'm going to want you to run this through Alphonic in some cases anyway. So we'll deal with that at a different time. I don't know. Yeah. All right. What are we doing here? Jake's okay. 2 surprises. This was just obviously what it was asking me, but like duration. Okay. Resolution. Fucking piece of shit, Riverside. 2 surprises. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm still trying to think of did this thing give me a good, let's see about this real quick. Let's go back to our plan real quick. So MP4, MP3. See, this is, I mean, you guys, you gotta, like, this is so much bigger than fucking websites. I'm at this point where now, like, I don't want to even build websites. I mean, I will obviously, but like, there's so much stuff that you could automate that like look at all of these Look at all of these like outputs that like you take for granted when you're doing content creation or production or anything like that. And again, it's not even like content creation in the sense of, oh, I'm gonna make YouTube videos or make podcasts. It's like even a blog post. It's like there's all these outputs that you have to create that if you lined them up and looked at them, one thing would happen is you realize you're doing a lot more fucking work than you're probably charging for or that you feel that you're doing. That's the first thing. I know that happens to me. The second thing is that you you realize that if I could just write that list down, there's probably a lot of ways that I could help myself or my clients knock each one of these off without having to do a lot of manual labor. It's it's pretty incredible. This is literally like in some ways, this is like auditing. What I did here was I kind of audited my process or had it audit my process based on what I was saying, and then move through everything. This is an interesting look here. Hang on a second. I want to explore this a little bit more. So ingest and validate, normalize workspace, audio master. So it's audio master and then transcribe. Bro, it's funny. Oh man, this is so like full circle. I wonder if I can pull this up real quick. Hang on a second while this is working. Let me just show you something. Side note, I don't really use Notion anymore because I realized that I don't need to. But I'm still in the process of like moving shit around. Let me just show you something really quick. Um, let me just show you like literally in real time how my life has continuously changed and evolved. Let me get what's a good example? I think I'm also like probably gonna lose my Notion here pretty soon or at least my plan. Let me go empty database. Well, actually I can do this. Hang on a second. I had a full like database of all the people that I wanted to have on Fueled by Progress over in my Notion, which again, Notion is dope, but it's just for me, I'm so radicalized that I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to click around and fuck around and all this stuff because I will just waste so much time in environments like that I would rather just like not see some things or not have the opportunity to click some things and just be able to orchestrate. So yeah, where the hell is this goddamn thing at actually? I'm trying to find. I had this whole list of people that I wanted to talk to and stuff, and I had like, or maybe it was just in our delivery thing actually. Yeah, hang on a second. All right, so in our content planner, and let me go to like, I don't know, fucking editing. I can spell. All right, let's do this, and let's do full screen on this guy, and there we go. Okay, here we go. This should work. This should work. Okay, so let me show you again. Okay, so this is Notion again. Congratulations, hello, welcome if you've never heard of it. Who the hell told me they never heard of Notion the other day? It's crazy. But anyway, so a while ago, okay, I just want to show you this life cycle because again, if you the more examples that I can give you here and the more like oh wow, that's crazy. The more things I think it would be better. This was Notion. I spent a lot of time, a couple days or whatever, like back when I was having Nathaniel edit everything. I spent so much time getting what I'm about to show you done, not mechanically, because this is not a hard thing to do, like make these little templates. But you click this, you put in a new thing like Jake Goldman or whatever, and then you come down here and you're like, and you have all this stuff, right? Like it's a little template. So you could like create a new little page and then you have all this stuff like kind of templated out here for the process and everything like that. My whole thing, man, is like, I'm not anti-human. I'm actually extremely pro-human, and I want humans to ascend, and I want them to be able to do more shit that like is not like soul crushing and agonizing and shitty. And everything on this list to me is a lot of it, 90% of it is soul crushing, agonizing, and shitty, and not a good use of human resources and time. So I know that that's like hard for people to get, and if you like doing it, then you should continue to do it. Okay, I agree with that. But I just think that my whole point here is I went through and I like with AI, I went through and I was like back and forth on like, hey, I want to like think about my process here, right? And honestly, what I should have done probably in the beginning of this is I probably should have like given it all this. I'll do it right now, even just to see if there's any loose ends that we didn't find. But I went through and I did this whole process of like what creating, because in my mind I was like, I'm going to hand this to Nathaniel, I'm going to hand this to a video editor or whatever. I need to know this process, and this is what it is. And here's the thing: is like pre AI, some businesses that you work with or you probably did this, and you probably have a really good thing. This is a great starting point, but the point is that like this is where you were. Don't stay here. Like take this fucking thing and Instead of handing it to a human, hand it to a clanker and see if they can just create workflows, scripts, everything to do all this stuff, you know? So it's just a wild situation that I find myself in. Even saying that, I'm like, that sounds so fucking simple. But I don't think a lot of people understand it yet. Maybe you do if you're here, because I appreciate you, and you're probably ahead of the curve. But so many people don't fucking get this. I gotta stop projecting my my stuff. I gotta stop projecting what I know on other people because they don't know it. They don't know. They don't understand that you can do this. They don't get it. They know what they want to do and they know their job and the things that has to get done, so to speak, but they don't know how to do it. And they don't understand it's possible. Then they don't understand how to do it. Then they don't realize that it's easy. And then this is the kicker, okay? This is the big one. Even when they realize that it's easy and not that hard from like an effort standpoint, some of them, this is a crazy one that I just realized, some of them still don't want to fucking do it, which is fine. Okay, that's fine. If you want to delegate everything out, I still think you're probably going to lose money that way. Maybe you'll have a little less stress because you won't have to do the work. That's a separate conversation. It's valid, but still, like, it's crazy. I just had that conversation recently. I'm like, wait, what? You have like the fucking entire world's knowledge, asterisk, obviously. You have like so much of the world's data trained in this thing, and you're not utilizing it to do whatever the fuck you feel like you don't have the time to do. That is bonkers. God bless you. Do whatever you want. I'm just saying that's crazy to me. I feel like I'm not doing enough, and I'm doing way fucking more than other people. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's literally crazy. All right. I want to give it this path that I just downloaded. Also, I was over here and I was like looking at that. I wonder how much this goes against that. Yeah, I mean, this is literally the whole thing. I basically should have just given it at first. So that was me. I literally forgot about that because I haven't done it in a while. And then it pulled a lot of the code over from the other thing. Phased build plan. It's crazy, dude. I think, you know what? I'm so happy, so grateful that I'm living through this time, because I think I think I was built for this. Like, I just love to fucking talk, and I just love to express what I'm trying to like do. And when you think about it, it's like there could be a simple framework. It's like, again, I wrote this down. I didn't do it yet. It's like, understand like what you have. Fuck, it was really good. It was a 3-step thing too. Shit. It was like, understand like the tools that you currently have, understand the processes that you currently have, understand like where the pain is. I'm going to butcher it because now I don't remember. And just be able to articulate that. Like, that's the whole skill now. There's more, but that's most of it. That's most of the skill. Real quick. This file was in my Notion, and it's a markdown file that just kind of explains. You should be able to see, I think, like the whole process here. Months ago, I was trying to do this manually so I could hand off to a video editor, and I went through and actually, like, painstakingly, I just remembered that I went through this whole process. I think we're pretty close with our workflow here now, based on just what I was able to tell you and then what you were able to ascertain from the other like editing thing. Just real quick before we go further, take a look at this, compare it to what we currently have and like, our markdown file in this project and like our plan and everything. See if there's any gaps. See if there's anything like, oh yeah, Mark, you absolutely forgot this from your old thing. Surface them for me and I'll tell you if they still matter. It's prompts like that I literally get tickled. Like, I get tickled pink when I put a prompt out like that. It's just like, I'm so, I don't know. I just feel like it's the future. Like, just tell the thing what you're trying to do. Explain it well. Explain it like you're talking to a human, and explain it well. And then it will go out and it will do the task for you. And it will synthesize this data way fucking better than you could. Way better. It's like, I'm not meant to do this. Kyle says, I feel like I'm doing so much. Hello, yeah, that's, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. We're probably all doing a lot. There's conversations within that to be had to be like, are we looking at, what things are we doing? How much time are we spending on certain things? Are we shipping stuff? But at the end of the day, I think that if you're in this realm at all, I think you're going to be in good shape. Keep going. Title format's now nailed down. Nice. 2 thumbnails, not 1. Big miss. Your workflow. Oh, fuck, missed that. Okay. Module 9. See, I forgot about all this shit. Keep full conversation intact. No pacing, no cuts. Oops. Forgot about that. Add intro hook. What is this? Oh, God. Okay. Off by default. Yeah, we're not doing that on these. Do you want an intro hook? Cold open teaser clip. Yes. LM picks a hook from the transcript. Recommended. I did forget about that part. 10 to 30. This is where, right here, this is where, let me do an example real quick, just so you know what the fuck I'm talking about. Over yours.
Building a website.
I was stuck in this for a while. You see how it goes like back and forth or whatever? And then it goes like, that was like the cold open, and then it goes to like my intro. Like, I like the format, but the trouble is like, I'm not saying this is hard to do, this back and forth thing, but that's where like now you're getting into like 202, I feel like, of like editing this. Oops. 35 candidate 10-second clips from conversation intersecting. I'm gonna say yes to the first thing. However, what I really like is I don't want one clip. I want, like, think of it like maybe a I don't know, a 10 to 30 second mashup of sound bites. You know what I mean? So like each sound bite's maybe like, I don't know, 5 seconds or something. That's what I'm thinking. And then there'd be some music, like a little bit of music underneath for that part, and that would be like the hook. That would be the intro hook. And then it would transition into my intro that I film. So that's what I'm thinking. I actually do want to add this. Yeah, let me give you some additional context here. I do want to add this because every single one of these is going to have an ad slot per se. It might not be a paid ad, but it's absolutely going to be me jumping into the conversation and advertising my services and like my consulting or like the community or my work with me stuff or whatever. So every single one of them from now on is going to have some sort of ad break. I don't know how we're going to handle that, but we do need to have that in there. Oh shit. Okay. I didn't realize I was just going to go to the next one. Where should the second thumbnail go in the priority list? Add to module 9 when we build it. Create both that and that. Build a one generator first before YouTube thumbnail. No, we need it. Add to module 9 when we build it. Recommended. Module 9 generates both. There's gonna be so many problems here because I'm not sure. I have to think about this. There's like a priority problem here, right? But like I'm trying to think of how. What did that fucking thing say? I don't think I have it pulled up anymore. I think we'll just go here. Fuck it. I don't care. We'll figure it out. I think the problem is like, fuck, man. It's another thing that there's so much stimulus in my brain. Fucking Transistor, great platform. Pretty good for hosting, podcasts and stuff. But like, it's like there's a new plan now, where you have to upgrade plans to get your podcast videos to be shown elsewhere. Like if you can host video there now, so you have to upgrade your plan, which I'm not going to do, at least right now, because this doesn't make any money. But you have to host your podcast somewhere, and it'll push it. I don't know if it'll push it properly to YouTube. There's this whole thing. I don't know if you guys are interested in podcasting at all, but this obviously is just an example for this. But there's just a whole thing there. It's a fucking nightmare. Because I don't like at this point now, like now that I'm looking at it, it's basically like now that Apple has videos and Spotify's had video for podcasts, it's like, why the fuck are we still like, it's just hilarious. It's hilarious that like how it's like it just comes back. It's so cyclical. It's like you could just put the shit on YouTube. But the problem with YouTube is that not a lot of people have premium, so they can't turn their screen off, I guess, or whatever the deal is. Like, it's just the podcasting industry is hilarious. Got to talk to my buddy Matt Medeiros about that, though, if you want to hear. He's the podcasting man. I just moonlight as a podcaster because I like to have good conversation. Let me see here. Okay. What do we got? All right, so we're changing some shit up. The problem, I'll tell you the other problem though, just randomly, is the other problem with these types of things is that I understand why people get scared with this because they can't see anything. And I understand that. I kind of get it, you know what I mean? But this looks daunting. This looks scary. And maybe I got to stop projecting the fact that like I know kind of what's going on here, even though if I don't know all the syntax, I know like kind of what's happening. But it's just interesting, it's again, I had that conversation. I've had these conversations recently. It's like people just don't want to learn. Like it's not they don't want to learn. It's like they prioritize certain things and they prioritize other things, like what they want to learn, what they don't want to learn. But I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I'm really thinking about this. Okay. A quick little thought experiment while this is going on. If you guys have any thoughts, let me know. I don't see how every company doesn't become some sort of like AI driven company. Like obviously like a landscaper or plumber, what have you, it's going to take a little longer for that to potentially happen. But like their internals, their ops, all that sort of stuff could be AI driven. The service is still going to need to be human driven until we get the robot situation figured out. But like, how are you doing digital services right now and not being AI first? It's not a criticism. It's just like, what the fuck are you prioritizing? You know what I mean? Like what are you if you're prioritizing like sales and biz ops or whatever, you're probably not utilizing AI enough there. You know what I mean? Maybe you don't want to use AI for the fucking, maybe you're like stuck on, you're married to WordPress. You want to use fucking Bricks, Etch, Elementor, whatever the fuck for the rest of your life and never want to do any like AI outside of that. Or you want to like wait until the AI is baked in there. I don't care what you do. Okay. But let's just walk down this road because I'm thinking about this in real time. If that's the case, that's fine. You do whatever you want there. If it's slower, it might be slower. Or if you're really fast, then maybe it's faster. I don't know. I doubt it. But okay, so that's that. But if you do that and you tell me that you don't have time to learn how to do other work and try to work on your workflows and all that other stuff, the only real answer there, like I'm trying to like understand what that actually means. It means like let's go through the options. You're scared of it and you think you can't do it. you just flat out don't want to do it for some reason. You're not interested in it. That's, I mean, these are all like synonyms. Like I don't get it. Like, cause I had this conversation and it's like, there's people, I didn't realize this. I don't know. There's people in this industry that have digital businesses that are not technical. And I'm just like, why the fuck didn't I realize that? I knew it, but I didn't know it, you know? And why did I realize that? Why did it take me so long to realize that? I am, and then I'm in this position where like I haven't called myself a developer. Like, fuck, buddy. I am so much more technical than most of the people that like I have those types of conversations with. And it's like you could just provide so much value if you're that person. You know what I mean? If you watch any of that type of content, you can just provide so much more of the value. So I don't know. It's crazy. There's so much money to be made right now, so much value to provide. I got to just keep going. All right, lock decisions, silence trimming off, title format. Fuck, I actually didn't like that format anymore. So promo, not a paid sponsor. Okay, 2 thumbnails generated. Wait, what? It already did shit? A sketch or past example of the 1x1. Let's see if we can grab some of this stuff. It'd be crazy. This is another topic, okay, right? So this is one that I would say people have a lot of opinions on, but we're too in the moment right now for the opinions to actually hold weight or matter one way or the other. Thought in my mind, right? A sketch or past example of the 1x1 podcast cover. In the past, what I've done is I create those just in Canva. So already there's like files in there that are exactly how I want them, and they're in a manipulatable format, right? The big problem when everybody gets pessimistic about all this shit is that they say that like they want control, right? They want final say and final control. And the problem is when you're vibe coding, you have all the code, you have access to it. So you do have control, but you just don't fucking know how to do it, myself included. So I can't go in and I can't physically change stuff. But at the same time, I've had very little times where that actually ends up being a problem and I can't just prompt my way out of it. Because, and if I do, it's mostly because I'm trying to do something that's like, I'm not doing it the right way. Like I'm not trying to solve the problem the right way, and I need more there. It's not like I can't do it, right? So that's one thing. But the reason I bring this up is because this is a real issue that I haven't seen solved yet. Probably does in some way or not. The solution probably exists. It's just not like ubiquitous. There is a problem when you get to visual shit. Even web development too, but that's already kind of solved because it's code and it's easy. The visual stuff is a problem in a way. It's like you are so used to opening up a template that you can move shit around in with a UI, or starting from scratch and putting shit in, right? That's great, but it's slow. The alternative is, and we'll get to this with the thumbnails, which like we literally are now. The alternative is that you can image gen now. You can go to ChatGPT, whatever, and you pop an image in. But then the problem is like, well, I just created this image. Let's say it's a graphic, because an image is like a little different. Image of like a person on a beach is like different than like like a thumbnail with like a title here and a face here and whatever, right? Like you look at that and you see that there's like pieces to it. There's like text, face, background, maybe like another piece of text. And you would think, I just want to fucking grab that and edit it. Obviously now with like Figma, MCP maybe, and all these other things, like it's better. But I don't want to use fucking Figma, first of all. So like, I'm not going to do that. But even like the Canva MCP, whatever the hell, could work. I tried it a while ago. It kind of sucked. It's probably better now. But the whole thing is like, that's why it's like, I kind of want to go that route. And for the visual stuff specifically, until this thing is unbelievably good, and I don't know why, I know I'm ranting a little bit, but I don't know why none of these platforms have in painting yet. I dabbled with local AI and like local image gen just to see what my graphics card was capable of. Bro, you can like in that's a different way of image genning. I'm not going to say I know exactly what's going on, but basically think of it like this. Think of it like if you have a guy, right? A picture of a guy, and he's in a park, and he's a blue hat on, and you go and you say, hey, generate a guy of an image with a blue hat on. Boom. Then you just like circle just the hat, and then you say change it to black or something like that, right? And now I know that concept exists. Okay, I have the Pixel, and I know that it's always been like you kind of like it's been a while actually. It's been like years where you can like circle something and you can change it with AI. That exists. But it's still, like, kind of, like, inferring a lot. Actual, like, in painting, as I understand it, is literally you have the same exact photo, same exact pixels, and you literally select, like, 10 by 20 of the pixels, kinda like how you would do in Photoshop, but obviously you're not doing any of the manual work, and then you have it regenerate that just based off of the context and variables and other stuff of the image. All of these concepts are similar throughout all these different things, but, like, that exact thing is, as I understood it, in painting, right? You have a problem with the image that you generated, you want to fix it. Compare that to a lot of the consumer grade stuff and even the dev stuff. I don't see it enough in like GPT or in Nano Banana when it was hot. Is like I don't see any of that in there where every single time you want to do something, you can tell it to like focus on an area, sure, but it still regens the whole image. Why are we even wasting the compute on all of these pixels? Just change that one part. You know what I mean? So I know that was a long ramble, but the whole thing is like if we're not there yet with that, I like image gen, but I have to be careful with how I use it. So in here, like for thumbnails, I did have GPT 2.2.0 for a thing for as an option, especially on like my main channel where like I want the thumbnails to be like I'll say more custom in a way. But for templated stuff, it's like gotta just use either MCP or almost like an HTML like setup version of something, or where it just does the HTML and then snaps the picture or whatever. So yeah, I mean, I guess I guess what I'll do here is I'll give it some of this information and we'll kind of go from there. I know that was a long rant about all of it, but yeah. What am I gonna do here? This is Josh's episode. What I want to do is I want to copy all of this. But I don't want to copy it here because these links and shit get all weird when you copy them, I think. Is there an easy way to handle this? I don't want to, can I switch accounts while I'm streaming? I don't know if I can do that. Might have to open up a new incognito tab and log in or something. Let's see what's going on. While we do that here, let me go here. I'll take care of a couple things here while I chat with you. I'm gonna go to Canva. I can kind of show you some of this once I get in. I don't want to dox shit. It's funny because I did change a little bit of the vibe. Yeah, let me download a couple of these thumbnails. I think I don't breathe out of my nose enough when I talk on these live streams because I'm just constantly talking. And my nose gets stuffy. It's not ideal. I'm going to download the thing from Canva here. I'll just show you real quick. So this is Big Josh face here. And this is, simple, right? I've used Canva for a long time. I use Canva and I use Photopea. I don't use fucking Photoshop. So like, this is basically what I want here, and I think in some ways I look at this. Okay. Let me just show you how, again, now that you have an example and I'm not just like saying random shit under the microphone. Now that if you look at this, right? Any reasonable, logical person could be like, could you build this? Let me ask you this question because I know who you guys are. If I asked you to build a section on a website that looked like this, could you do that pretty easily? Probably, right? You know what I mean? Like it's very block friendly in a way, not like block editor, but like it's like this is like and I say section, but it's like this is a little element. There's another little element here, element here, element here, maybe some weird positioning and shit. Let's not worry about that because we don't need to go that deep into that whole thing. But like that's the situation, right? And then it's got a little background. Like this is not a artistic thumbnail by my estimation. It doesn't need to be image genned. It could be
either like a template style thing that HTML handles, or it could be, again, some sort of MCP into this situation, because there's probably gonna be some things you want to change. But a lot of the other thumbnails, which maybe I could give you a quick example of, just if you're interested. Oh, actually, it'd be a better option. That one, I think I did. This right here is a good example, even though it kind of looks like shit. That, you see how this Hermes video right here? Like, I'm not gonna build. That's not a templated thing, right? Like this Claude Code. That's not a templated thing. None of these things down here are like really like that templated, and they were all done with GPT 2.0, right? So that's the difference there. Let me just show you one other thing real quick, just if you care. Let me go back to the main screen. It's so interesting now. You can tell immediately which ones, if you haven't played around with it a little bit, which ones are like, what's it called? GPT, because GPT has a very specific thing that it does. I just saw one. This one right here. That's it's GPT all the way for sure. Because it has so much text on it and shit. It's like that's just kind of how it works. Let me see if there's another example. A lot of good content creators here. You guys should go follow them. This one feels GPT to me. Alex Finn's huge though. I'm not criticizing when I say that. It's just like you can kind of a little bit tell. It's just kind of interesting. But again, whole point. That as an example, I'll make fun of Alex. I'm not making fun of him, but I'll pick on him here. Like, that is not something, when you're processing this, that's not something that I would want to edit that. Like, I don't want to go in and edit it, because like, what the fuck am I going to do? Like, there's all sorts of like different little effects and shit. Like, I guess if you could make it look that good, but like, just think about that. Like, how hard would a graphic designer have to work to like do some of that shit? Like put that, obviously maybe that's just like a little glow or whatever, but I don't know. Graphic designers are probably going to hate this, because they're like, oh, it's not like exactly like the same. Like, why are these, I wish I could not do this, like where it's plays, but like, some, like, maybe if I go, this might work. Hang on a second. Yeah, now you're not gonna see my mouse anymore. But I was trying to like screen grab so like it would pause that thing. But anyway, like, I don't know. I just don't care. You know what I mean? Like, I just like, it'd be cool to like have full control over it. Maybe we'll get there. Maybe we're kind of close to that. But yeah, that's just kind of my long rant on that. So anyway, we need this. I think what I'll do is I'll give it this, and then I'll go find the 1x1, and I'll give it the 1x1, and then I'll just give it some information on what's going on there. We'll kind of continue to rock and roll. Let me get out of this damn project here. I know you can't see this. Let me go find some information. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, it's unfortunate that I just changed some of the very last episode that I did with Josh like 3 months ago. I changed a lot of subtly changed some of the templates. So I only really have like one option, because what I would do is I would go to like YouTube and I would just take a screenshot and be like, here's what I want this to kind of look like. And then you could just ascertain the stuff from there. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't, honestly, because sometimes it's not great at understanding like what you're looking at if you don't give it the whole flavor of everything, or like the actual files. Let me see here. Can I copy both of these paths and come back in here? So that's cover art. That's that. What else does this thing want from me? Description template. I don't know if I can get in there. Let me do a bear with me as I get in here real quick. And then we'll be right back to our scheduled programming. What the hell is this thing called? Yeah. What do we got here? I think we got some chat comments that I can't pull up on the goddamn screen. What do we got here? A lot of stuff over here. A lot of people are NPCs. Yeah, 100%. I hate Theo. Alex is cool. Theo's interesting. I've been like watching some of his stuff. I will say the thing about Theo is like, I'm not just gonna shit on random people here, but he's pretty big. I feel like I could kind of I talk about anybody, but I definitely don't hate him. There's some like weird stuff that I haven't followed him for a very long time. Followed him like a little bit before and then took a long hiatus, obviously. And now he's pretty much just talking about AI. So like the devs, it's funny because the devs get pissed off at him, I feel like sometimes because he's just talking about AI. And then, you know, I saw that video, I think it was Kyle. Who was it? Somebody reacted to the fucking guy from Web Dev Simplified. Is it Kyle from Web Dev Simplified? And then Cody reacted to him. I watched that video. Cody's apparently subscribed to me. Thank you, Cody. But yeah, he was like reviewing that, and then like I think Theo kind of got brought up slightly in that conversation. But the whole thing is like, yeah, it's like interesting to know. Like I never watched like coding content. You know, the closest I got to that was like Kevin Geary's stuff, right? And the CSS and all that sort of shit. And it's like fantastic. But now it's like everything is shifted away from just like programming content for the most part. And I like that. Other people might not. Understandable. But the thing with Theo is like I do like his opinions or I like how he diagnoses certain things, and he is very, very into it. You know, you might not like his opinions, but it's and I definitely don't like them all, but it's interesting to kind of see like how far he is. Like he's looking at the bench scores and stuff. It's like I don't know if I give that much of a fuck about that. You know what I mean? It's like you got to be careful how deep you get in. Like I feel like the stuff that I do is like I try to make it non-hypey and actually usable, but also I'm navigating it, you know? So it's like, I don't want to be the guy that's like, oh, this is amazing bench. Like, this is like way better than the last one. It's like, I actually don't care. You know, like 4.6, I use 4.7, Opus 4.7. I could probably use 4.6. I've been using just the subscription, the $20 subscription. I guess what are we on now? I'm losing my mind. Are we on 5.4 on GPT, whatever? On Hermes, I thought it was fine. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I don't use it a lot now because I use Claude Code and VS Code, but I should probably try Codex more because I hear good things. But it's like, you know what I mean? It's like everybody's bitching, and not just Theo or whatever, but like just in general. It's like cool to see the benchmarks and how good things are getting, but so many people are NPCs and they don't even know anything. It's like, just get on something, bro. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to go full nerd. I'm a nerd, but I don't want to go like full nerd on it, because if I go full nerd on it, I won't fucking do anything, because I'll just be thinking about, oh, this one's better than this one, that one's better than that one. And it'll be a nightmare. And I will not make any money to feed my new baby boy that is 10, 11 days old. So yeah. But what the fuck was I doing? I know I'm over here on the other thing here. Let me just, I think I can share this now because I went to an incognito tab. If we go here and we go YouTube Studio and we go to content and we go, oh, I forgot about shorts too. That would be sick. I use Opus Clip currently right now. So much to do here. So actually, let me grab. Maybe I'll just give a. I don't want it to fuck up the formatting of this. I actually don't like this. Damn it. Fuck. This is a little bit of an issue. Yeah, because I don't like this. Let me do, can I do a new text file easily? Let me go in here. New file. Okay, what the hell? I don't want to just dump it in there because I think it's going to mess up the formatting to a degree. Let's say description. Okay, maybe. Good. All right, so that's that. Let's see here. What I want to do is just real quickly, I guess we can get rid of social stream because it's being a bitch. Let me go over here. Let me go here. I know there's some more chats. I'll get back to those in a second, even though I can't pull them up. Let me go here. Here. And actually for this one, this is a better, if you guys give a shit about the YouTube stuff, like first three things need to absolutely be the things that make you money or you want people to go to. Because if you ever noticed with a YouTube video, you don't see anything other than that. And then you can get all the rest of the shit. But I've worked many times to change this up and make this better. I'm pretty happy with where it's at right now. So I'm going to go to settings down here and I'm going to go to upload defaults and I'm going to copy this because this is the actual thing, which is also the worst UX in the world because you can't make this fucking thing bigger. But side note, I'm gonna go. Hi, Josh. I'm gonna go over here, and I'm gonna go right here. And I don't love what I did here, but I just want to get this information in so I can kind of give it, and I'll give it more context on what to do with the information. Cool. Okay. There we go. Okay, here's the deal. So for those things you wanted, the podcast description template, I just made a little simple file in here called description.txt. What's in there is it's one file, but there's kind of like two sections. You can see it. It's separated by like a little dotted line. There's a bunch of extra space like in between the two things. Here's the thing though. I want the first part of it, the first description, so to speak, that's pasted there is the last episode, the description from the last episode with Josh Hall. Okay. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. It's obviously for a different channel. These videos are going to go on the Fueled by Progress YouTube channel. The descriptions can be the same for the show notes and all that other shit. I don't give a fuck right now. That's fine. Like on the different platforms, like on the podcasting stuff, it's fine. On the second description that I gave you in that file though is the boilerplate for my main channel, which I love because it does a couple different things. Like one being that the money links are at the top. Okay. Like hire me and all that sort of stuff there. We could take out probably the free value section. Maybe, we can change like about this video to about this podcast, or about this episode rather, about this guest, something like that. The links thing, maybe that works still. About this channel probably should be like about this podcast, about the show. You can take a lot of basically what I'm asking you to do is take the first one, the information, some of the information from the first one, obviously not Josh's information, but boilerplate type of information, and use more of the formatting of the second one, like the emojis, the doubles, like the little spacing in between each little section. Love all of that stuff. And love kind of the flow of the second one, but can we do that? And can we make a description? Can we confirm, and like, I don't know where you're putting it or whatever, but can you show me kind of the description flow for this new one? And then we can finalize that for a version 1. And then all of that is good there. And then we have the sketches. I have 2 file paths up here that are JPEGs of the 16:9 as well as the 1:1. One note on those were built in Canva. We could potentially at some point hook up the Canva MPC and just swap shit out there, so it becomes a manipulatable file type essentially. We don't really need to do that. That would be a nice to have maybe at some point, but it's not entirely necessary. I just think that they're so templated that it probably makes more sense to use like the HTML variety or like an MCP like that, rather than they're not artistic. So we don't really need to generate these thumbnails. You know what I mean? We can discuss that as well. But I think you might have seen that in the other directories flow. One thing I want to say too is like, I talk like this all the time to this thing, and I feel like I use subscriptions most of the time, so my costs are not affected. My token usage is, I don't know. I mean, is it high? Is it high? Where's the account? Did they change this shit? Or am I spelling it wrong? I mean, I don't see it's not crazy. And then the other thing is, do I see like a performance dip? I actually think it always does what I want it to do. So maybe I'm not being concise enough, but it's how I operate. Okay, what do we got here? I find it comical seeing all the web design agency ads on my socials and literally all look the same, 100% custom design. So cringe. Yeah. I can't pull these up on the screen. Pisses me off. Was that in response to, are we saying, I don't know if that was in response to something I said, or are you saying there, because I'm interested in that, are you saying because like you think that if you say that, then you're not custom designing if you're using it, or was I talking about the templating thing before, and you thought like if you template, then it was not? Real quick story on this, okay, guys, wherever you guys land, I mean, we're fine to disagree, but real quick story on this, because I do think this is important. Years ago, 2017, 2018, 2019, when I first started building in WordPress. I found WordPress because the guys next to me at my job that I was working at, they were building websites and whole web platform apps for like this real estate company that we were working at. They were building ASP.NET, right? They're true developers, right? Good guys. I said, hey, I want to build a website for myself. They're like, say less, fam. Here's ASP.NET. Go and fucking VS Code back then and spin it up, download whatever, like, you know, do whatever. And I was like, okay. I go doing it. I'm trying to like recreate like a simple layout for myself. And I'm like, this fucking sucks. I would like to unalive myself now. And then they told me, why don't you go use WordPress? And I'm like, okay, I don't think I've heard of WordPress, but I looked it up and I found it or whatever. And then I was like, okay. I started using WordPress and I was like, this seems old and clunky, honestly, honest to God. Like even back then I was like, this doesn't look that great, but it's fine. And I was like, what do I do here though? Like, I'm not going to just throw this shit away because it seems powerful. I'm not just gonna throw this shit away because the UI's whack. But I was like, how do I actually handle this? Like, what do I do? And the first thing, I remember this so vividly. I got to make a whole video on this because I think it'd be cool to know. I at least got to write it down on my website for my story. But I found, we'll go to a little story time real quick and then we'll get back to it. I found something called, like, what I was looking for was, I think it was pre-Gutenberg or right around the time Gutenberg was coming out that I found it. So it was like, I couldn't do anything. Like I just saw like maybe the tiny MCE editor or whatever. And I was like, I want to create like I would be in some sort of graphical user interface, right? I wasn't a designer, but I wanted to see it, right? And I was like, I know there's a way to do this. I'm not going to go to Squarespace or whatever the hell else was there at the time. And I was just like, okay, let me try to find a plugin or try to find something. And the first thing you do, right, when you're that, you know, green to WordPress is like, okay, I gotta get a theme. Okay, so I went to the themes and I downloaded like, what did I download? I downloaded some sort of bold something or something or other. The one that comes to my mind is because I downloaded that and I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. Like I see a website now, I see a templated thing and I can change some text. Okay, great. Then I was like, I found like another one. I remember the one that I remember is Hestia. I don't know if it still exists, probably does, but that gave me more control over things, I think. But I still don't know how much it was. Maybe I can't even really validate it now because like I don't know what was there, what wasn't there. Maybe it had like some templated designs that you could do and change. And I was literally about to give up. I was like, this is fucking stupid. I don't want my website to look like this. I want to have control over the stuff that's on there. And then I found Elementor, and then I was like, oh shit. Okay, now I can do whatever I want in here. And then I had to get the pro plan, obviously, to do more stuff. But it's like that was the unlock moment. And people don't understand, like, unless you were there, it's like you had to be there. Unless you were there and you lived through that and you've had an experience like that, you don't understand what that was actually like. I was just talking again, this episode that we're talking about here. When it comes out, you guys should watch it. Jake Goldman, again, who I've talked about here, he founded 10up years ago. I just talked to him, but I think it was 2012. Maybe it was somewhere around there. And he founded 10up. Now it's fueled, and they did like enterprise level stuff. So it's not the same experience, even though it's in WordPress. It's not like the same experience that most people have, like with these other platforms. But when you had that initial euphoric like moment of, oh fuck, I could just drag and drop shit in now. I don't have to do code. I don't have to I don't have to code, but I'm also not limited by the templates. That's crazy. The reason I got on this story was because of the comment we had there. I just want to tell you the origin story. But what happened to me initially was I was that guy. I was the guy that's like, oh, fuck, wait a second. I just realized, this is very early when I started doing that. I was like, I just realized something, that anyone building websites for people, because at the time I didn't think like other people were building their websites as much. It was just like, oh, there's other people building websites and I'm one of those people now. I was like, well, wait a second. If I'm talking to John Doe client and like they're a plumbing company, there's a chance that, Sally down the street building websites for other plumbing companies could literally use the exact same template that I'm using. And then it's like, am I going to rip off? Like, is that essentially what's happening here? Like I'm ripping off like a design. I remember very vividly, I don't know if he's still alive because he was doing some crazy shit, but Chris A. Hughes at Nerd's World, he was one of the people that I watched religiously back when he was doing web design content. Now he's traveling the world into like weird scary places. But he was making this content about how he was handling like his web design agency and all that sort of stuff up in Toronto. And I was watching all that, and it was like, I looked at his website, and I was in the moment where like I was in the time obviously where I was like copying a lot of stuff because I was like trying to, see like I want to start at the level of somebody else or like, what they were doing. And I would look at his pricing. It was very upfront pricing. And I've never, to this day, I don't love pricing web design projects because I feel like we're just going to get in there and we're going to want to do a lot more. It's a whole thing. But that aside, I remember looking at this and I'm like, okay, whatever it was, $1,500 or something like that for a templated website. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like that's going to look like somebody else's shit. It's just like a theme. And like, what happens? Maybe you guys went through this because like I didn't go through this. I was just like, fuck that. I'm going to do custom websites, so to speak. Like custom in the sense of like, I'm going to use Elementor and I'm not going to use a template. I'm not going to use anything. I'm just going to like, I'll look at another website and I'll try to like copy some of the aspects and the elements, but I'm not going to use a template. Like you could make a lot of money doing that. And God bless people that did that. And honestly, I probably made a bigger deal than it needed to be because I'm sure none of these fucking plumbers and all these people like give that much of a shit about that. But it was like, I always felt bad about that. So that was a long-winded way to say that like, I saw that initially and I was like, I really hate this. Like, I really hate this concept of selling templates. And I never did it. And I always went to like, if I was rebuilding someone's site, I would rebuild it in Elementor custom with like, element, bringing in all the elements. And the websites that I created for myself and for other people before AI, I dragged in, dropped everything. I would like look at other people's websites and I like that header, I like that hero, and I would do it all like that. I would do it manually. And I think there's a lot of like valor in that, I guess, in a way, and pride to that. It's probably not the best use of business stuff because everything is systemized and commoditized and productized. And honestly, that whole thought process there probably lost me a lot of fucking money because I probably didn't do as many projects as I could have done. I didn't charge enough, didn't want to do it that way. I just thought that was the most honest way to do it. But yeah, anyway, that was a long-winded way. I don't know if we actually got a answer out of that, but yeah, let me go up here real quick because I wasn't related to anything you said. It was just thought because I keep getting these annoying web design ads. It's crazy how all of them say the same thing and charge a lot for hosting. Yeah, I mean that's another good thing to quickly riff on. Fuck. Yeah, I mean I definitely haven't made as much money as I should have over the years that I've been in business, but it's trending now, which is great. I think that the concept of the website care plan though has absolutely kept me in business. Just because it's some amount of recurring revenue that has always come from basically, literally, I feel bad, but it's not doing nothing, but it's more of like, at least like the best way I could describe it is like an insurance policy, like stuff is getting updated, and all that. But it's funny how that was like literally manufactured. Like you don't need to do that. Like, I mean, there's other platforms that you could put people on that you don't need to charge $100, $200, whatever per month on stuff. And it's actually something that we should all really think about and potentially diagnose together now. Cause we're going to have to, if you want to move into this realm, cause I'm already moving into this realm of, I'll say it. Like, I really think that most websites should be static. Like a lot of the websites that have existed, but the problem is like now moving forward, like we might actually have less websites that are static because we can do more, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? It's like all these years, we probably should have been just building static websites for people. I know I should have. I don't give a fuck what you guys think. I like for yourself, maybe it's a different situation for you. I absolutely, almost every website that I built should have been a static website that would have cost me basically nothing to host. And I could have just charged and nothing to host, but also really no time. Like literally it could have costed I could have charged the people. I had to charge these people like, the number that I was like landing on was like $250 a month. And with that, like, it's a business calculation. It's not just any of your time, which I mean, we can automate plugin updates and all that sort of stuff, but it's also like There's licenses, there's other things, which again is relatively nominal, like fees, but they do add up. Like I did all the research, and like if you want to make good WordPress websites, you do need premium plugins for the most part, or you need to code the shit yourself. And before you weren't going to do that, so I wasn't going to do that, so I needed to get the premium plugins, and they did cost money. So it's not like I'm fleecing anybody. I need to make money, and then fucking pay a bunch of fucking money in taxes, and then I get some. You know what I mean? And I would like to reinvest in the business. So the whole thing is I'm saying that that number can kind of come down now realistically, because if you do static websites, there's basically no cost. And you can either deploy it to them and have them do it, or you can take what I would like to say, like kind of like a mini retainer insurance policy that like, hey, listen, this shit, I literally just had this conversation. I'm going to say this, and then I do want to get back to this stuff because I don't want to derail too much, but I appreciate you guys and your stuff. And hopefully you're getting something out of this. I just had this conversation. Okay. I'll tell you the video where I did the 10-hour video of me building the website or whatever it was, the insurance website. I fucked up. I'll tell you exactly what happened. I go into that situation and I say it in there. It's like, I quoted him like $5,000 and like $1,000 or something like to build the thing. And, because of the spec that they gave me, it was kind of like, that was accurate. Like that was what we wanted. And then we came back. It's like, we don't really need anything like ongoing right now, like SEO and stuff, like they were typical client, nothing wrong with it. Like, they're just kind of like confused. They don't know what they're trying to buy. So they're just like, kind of like, here's what we think we need. And then you tell us and we'll kind of go from there. I probably could have sold it more, but again, I'm big into like foot in the door offers now, which is probably, again, I've lost a lot of fucking money because I haven't done that. So that's what we're doing now. Whatever. We'll continue to evolve. Anyway, ended up selling that website for like $2,500. And I didn't say anything about recurring. And I was like, fuck. Even though it doesn't cost me a lot of money to do that, you have to be honest with yourself. You're a business. You have a bunch of shit going on in your head and on your accounts and everywhere. You need to charge something even for these static websites, even if you're not touching them, even if you're not doing anything. If they're on your accounts, like if that code base is in your GitHub account and it's hosted on your Cloudflare Pages account, right? You need to charge some money for this. Okay. Like, I don't care how much it is. Maybe you charge them fucking $10 a month. I think you should charge them like $99 a month is kind of what I landed on. But I realized that and I was like, shit. I didn't get anything. I'm not getting any recurring revenue out of this. One, that's bad in general as business, but two, it's like, I can't take on any amount of risk for no money. Right. And even 99 is probably too low, but is where I started. And I was just like, listen, I just sent a candid email. I was like, hey, listen, here's the reality of the situation. This was one of the first ones that I did in this way where we moved you from a different thing. And it was one of the first ones, and I didn't go too technical on it, but like, basically this is way cheaper than handling like other websites and, WordPress and all that sort of stuff. And, for so many reasons, like I already explained how it was good and everything. But the reality is that we have two options. I either have to take all this technology and move it to something that you control and manage, or I have to manage it for you. And I have to do it, and I have to do that for a cost. And when you really think about it, it's your business. You can do whatever the fuck you want. You could say that my fee to manage this is $1,000 a month, and you could not do anything. I'm not saying that's incredibly, I don't really know if ethical is the right word. I just think it might be bad business when people realize that that's not actually what that, like, there's not really that much like cost in it, but you're free to do whatever you want. You could say like, I'm going to look at this for 1 minute every month, and every minute of my time is worth $1,000. Like, you're allowed to do that. It's just like the market will get you, will promote you or demote you accordingly. Right. So a little bit of a side there, but my point is, because that's a mental thing that I probably run into a lot, because I think that, I'm not doing anything, I can't charge money for it. It's like, fuck, I know a lot of shit, and if you fucking text me, I'm probably gonna respond to you. So there's value there. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of more of the thing. So basically, I would just recommend that, like, the more people that you can kind of like get into that realm. I'm not saying you have to build static, but I do think that a lot of that is that. I think that's the way to go. And now, again, way off track, but again, the comment was like about charging a lot for hosting and things. You do have to charge money, right? And I don't know what a lot is in that context, but I think that even though the prices are not high, if you're moving to static stuff, or even if you're in WordPress and you're just like, free balling it with like a bunch of free stuff, like, don't think that just because just because something seems cheap that you can't like charge money for doing it. And obviously try to provide more value as well. But I would say like that, what that that case that I just described is an outline of, or an example of, is like a company and a founder that knows that I'm literally in his corner now, and it's just a little bit of cheddar every month to just remain kind of there, and then like make sure the lights stay on and everything like that, and everything's good to go. And then when we're ready to do anything else, tells me what we want to do. I tell him what the price is and probably say yes, and then we continue to go, right? Like that's what I always wanted, and honest to God, I won't lie, like that I probably fucked that up like a lot in the past, where I just took that money and I didn't talk to people. I'm trying to rectify a lot of those relationships now. It's not like we have bad relationships, it's just kind of like, you know, absent relationships. So that's what I would say. All right, long ramble over there. Anything else crazy here? Cody does good content. Yeah, 100%. I click on 2 of those vids personally. Those thumbnails, titles drive me away, to be honest. I click on 2 of those videos personally. The thumbnail, like, okay, the I don't know which thumbnails we were talking about specifically there with Kyle, but the we're talking about my videos or their videos. There's a lot of text on some of those. I'm still refining mine too. Ex Twitch guy, yeah, they're strange woke people. Can't trust those people. He did some crazy stuff at Twitch. I mean, apparently he did that the whole manage thing, manage your stream thing. Cancel my Claude sub because they changed their SDK pricing. Rubbed me the wrong way. Interesting. I haven't had the issues. Thank you. Congrats on the new baby. Thank you very much. Switching to $100 codecs, crazy good. Yeah, I gotta try to fuck codecs a little bit more. WordPress 7 came out today. Crickets. No, I'm just kidding. That was a joke. Don't ostracize me. I mean, I don't care. But I actually was gonna watch Matt Medeiros' video on that. I just didn't get to it yet. Okay. Where are we at here? Free value. Keep the free value section in every episode or drop it. Get your AI resource bundle. Wait a second. Oh fuck! I just realized there's a problem. I think maybe. Well, it's kind of an issue. I don't know. Whatever. Keep it. I'm getting a little tired, and I don't know if we've actually done anything. I'd love to actually throw something through here just to see if we can get like I know it's not going to work probably first time through, but this is what it actually takes. And obviously, I'm talking to you guys, so it wouldn't take you this long. I'm trying to be somewhat entertaining while I do this. But this is what it is, man. I can't stand, like, I love the guys, you know, I don't have any beef with anybody, but I love the guys that I'm subscribed to. And a lot of them, you know, they're all different, but the fucking sizzle reel 15-minute videos, I should probably do more of them to get eyeballs, but I just can't subscribe to the idea that that is like overly helpful. It's like helpful to like get people interested, but I just feel like you're going to attract so many people that are ultimately going to fall off because they're not interested in stuff. I haven't fully formulated my thought on that, but I don't know. All right, per episode link section. That would be cool. Sponsor only when sponsored. Yeah. Cool. All right, let's see what we can do here, man. Can we get something? I don't know how long this would be because it'd probably be really long. It'd probably take a really long time. What happens is it might take a really long time for it to actually do the work, you know, the hard part of putting the stuff together and like re-rendering it. I will say that the way that I've worked this before is like when it doesn't re-render stuff, the video file it doesn't get corrupted, but it gets weird where you can't like upload it in certain platforms just because it's almost like it doesn't like re-containerize things. I don't know if it's hard to explain. I'm blowing up here on my notifications over here on my phone. Jeez, oh man. Who's in my yard? Nope, just neighbor. Come on. What do we got over here? Oh, speak of the devil. Look at this. Hey man, your tutorials are too long. Just make a 2 or 3 hour tutorial about your workflows. 10 hours is too long. Thank you for that feedback. I really appreciate that. I don't agree like at all. So I'll get to that in a second. Just look at those dudes who only create AI slop 1 hour tutorial, get like 500K views. Did you just say this after I said it? No, I didn't look at this comment before I said that. That's crazy. You have a lot of knowledge, but how you design and wrap up your tutorials are just poor. Keep being unapologetic. Right now, everyone has FOMO. I can't fucking read this. It's so far away from my screen. You know, and you're looking for tutorials like website creation and Claude Code. Most of the tutorials are made by AI slop content dudes who have no shit about it. Yeah. The only thing that they do good is communication video tutorial, step-by-step about workflows. They do everything very organized. Well, I appreciate that. I disagree. I can't click to your channel right now, but I'm assuming you have 1 million subscribers. I do appreciate the feedback. I'm not being a snarky asshole there. I am slightly being a snarky asshole, but I think there's a little bit more to it. There's, again, like, it's crazy how, like, I literally didn't look at that. I didn't look at that, but I don't know if I sensed it. It's really just what I said. It's like, I don't really want, I'd rather have, I think about this a lot. I don't actually know. Would I rather have like millions of people, hypothetically, millions of people that are just like bleh on this? Or do I want more people that like are willing to like look at and actually consume the content? I'm not saying I couldn't improve. I think I've been improving over time in a lot of ways. But here's the thing. And I get what you're saying, and I do appreciate the feedback. But here's my counter, my pushback to that, or my thought process. The differentiator is the fact that no one else fucking does a 10-hour video. Well, honestly, the meta now is like Nick Sarive and all them doing fucking like 8-hour videos of like courses on YouTube, which is, again, if we want to get into it real quick, we'll get into it. I'll get into it. Awesome. Happy for him, happy for whatever. Like, that is, you're at such a different level when you're doing that, because like that is like actual valuable information that somebody that's not making $4 million a fucking second is. And I love Nick, I talk to him, but like the reality is like, you have to give away all the free information. And realistically, I'm going to be completely honest with you. All the information is actually not even in fucking YouTube videos. Like, if you wanted to go get the information, you could just ask the fucking AI now. You don't even need to. I've done so much less YouTube consumption just because like I can just figure it out, or like orchestrate it to figure it out now. So that's a whole different conversation. I mean, it's a thread in this conversation. But if it takes me 10 hours to do something and I make a short video on it, I feel like that's a little bit disingenuous in some ways. What I did, and maybe you noticed this, maybe you didn't, not for the 10-hour one, but for the I think it was the 8-hour one with the content thing, and I didn't do it very well because I put it on the second channel. I made an 8-hour video of like the raw session, and then I have the highlight reel type thing on like another like 20-minute video or whatever, where I say what I did and how I did it. The whole thing is like, I just still think that my current opinion is like, I'm not saying you have to watch a 10-hour video, but like if you can't, like if you don't realize that it's going to take you that long, and you don't realize that like that's what actually what kind of work has to happen in order to get a good product, then I don't know what to do. I'm not talking directly at you, commenter, either. I'm just saying like that it doesn't compute in my mind. And maybe that means that I'll never have like millions of fucking people and whatever, but I'd rather be the person that is like authentic and direct at like that type of stuff and showing what's going on, rather than just being the sizzle 20-minute highlight reel. Like, I don't know how to say this. I love Nick Sarive. Had him on the pod. I chat with him, appreciate him, would love to continue to have a whatever kind of relationship with him. He's mentioned me on Stacked with Jack Roberts a couple times. And I love Jack. Haven't talked to Jack directly. But when I watch Jack's videos, like, they're not for me. Like, I don't fucking even know, like it's so fucking surface level, which is great, like marketing material, I suppose. And he's pumping them out. He's doing a fucking fantastic job. He's going up in sub count. I imagine he's making more money from that. But like, I just don't know if that's what I want to do. It really comes down to that. I don't know if that's what I want to do, because I don't know where that leads. Like, do all the people that are subbing to these types of things, let's be business minded for a second. Like, what kind of customers are they? Are they just, well, I'll pay you $50 a month or whatever for the community, and I'm gonna be a pain in the ass in the community because like I kind of want to learn, but I also think this thing is gonna fucking do all the work for me. You see, that's kind of the mentality, and I don't know if that's right or wrong. I'm just sharing with you candidly how I feel about this, because I think this is a good thing to discuss, and I appreciate you bringing it up. Is like, we are in a time where like I don't want this. I've specifically tried to not be the hype guy. I've said it so many times. I'm using these tools. I get shit from both fucking sides in a way, or I see the shit from the hype people, and then I get shit from the developers because I'm using fucking tools where I don't know all of the syntax. And it's like, I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't. So I don't care. I'm just going to do what I want to do. And I've never seen anybody do a 10-hour video where they just raw dog like creating a website or creating an app. And I didn't think that was going to get millions of views. I've never seen it. So I did it. Right? I did it a couple times. And I think it's great, because I don't know, nobody else did it. Like, I don't know. I don't know what else to tell you. So, that's where it's at. Could probably benefit from some shorter stuff. And obviously I mixed that in there. I mixed some like thought stuff in there with, with like shorter tutorials and shorter overviews and things like that. But yeah, the other big thing is, if we're just, dumping the introspection here real quick, is that I don't know if any of you guys have this issue, but maybe you do, maybe you don't. But because maybe you're not in the exact same like boat as me. But I'll just tell you something else. What's weird is when you created like WordPress content, like kind of back in the day, or when I was creating WordPress content, it wasn't like getting clients. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't generating, like, the subs were not like prospects for me to do fucking work for them typically. It was like mostly other people like me that wanted to learn from me, right? So that's the other thing, is like, you got to balance like the idea of like, okay, how much content am I going to put that's like, that is really technical versus like sizzle reel stuff versus like actual directly towards potential clients and all that. And I'm not good at this all, because I don't really generate Motive 11 business from this. I just kind of like have constantly been putting out like the things, basically been screaming all of the things that how much I like kind of know, or I've experienced and have learned from web development, vibe coding, AI assisted coding now, whatever, and just AI in general, all that. And it's actually been great. Like, I've been learning, I've been sharing. That's what I do. But I will say that like, without a specific direction on some of that, or a specific like ICP of who you're trying to hit, yeah, it's definitely not as effective as it could be. Definitely less people. But again, I still feel like that shotgunning approach of just like newest, coolest, fucking stupidest fucking shit going on, where like every single fucking video, it's like, oh, I've tested everything and it's fucking, this is the best. Like, no interest. No interest. So if you fucking hate that and you don't want to watch 10-hour videos, I appreciate you. Not you specifically, commenter, but whoever the general you is, if you're watching this. If that's you and you don't want to subscribe to me, I'm totally fine with that. And you don't want to watch my shit, block me. I don't care. But that's just how I feel. Like, really. At least right now. Again, it could change, but I have no ambition. I'm in this shit and I can't even keep up with it. I'm like super skeptical every time I watch one of those videos, because like, bro, stop talking like that. You didn't fucking try everything, and if you did, you definitely didn't try it enough to fucking. There's no way there's enough time in the world for you to try everything. You know what I mean? I used to try to be that guy too. I used to try to like try everything and keep a big list on the website. No, it's just, this is what I'm using. This is what I use right now. I keep saying I'm going to try Codex. I don't have a fucking problem. You know what I mean? I don't have a problem. It's like, don't fix what isn't broken. This is working pretty well. I tried Hermes. I'm like, I want to go that route because I know there is a gap, but I don't. Is it really that big of a fucking deal right now? It's not that big of a fucking deal. It's like, we're just so in our own way sometimes. Long preamble. Let's see if there's any more. The only thing you do, okay. Your points are totally right, and as you said, you can do the raw videos because it's differentiated at the same time. You can do things like summarized videos. I mean, you can do the raw videos, and then you can do set other video step by step of the workflow, and then we'll try to own steps in summary. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, I think we're aligned there. I do appreciate it. Seriously, I wasn't trying to be an asshole before. And I do appreciate it because I know you guys are trying to help, and I appreciate all the support. I think that's kind of the situation though. Is like I know that I need to do a little bit more of the marketing stuff. Well, it's not marketing, but like I know I need to do more of the, what would that be called? Fuck, I don't know. It's not outbound, but like, like I guess you'd call it marketing. There's a word, it's escaping me. Just like, like stuff that's like more engagement friendly. Engagement bait almost in a way. Not really, not bait, but like that type of thing. But I can't stop doing the other stuff because it is a differentiator, and I think that there's so much to it that's helpful and impactful because I don't see anybody else doing it. And even if you don't want to watch it all, it's like, fuck, that guy sat there for 10. I mean, I get that. That real quick. I've gotten that many times when I did the 8-hour live stream for my website. And when I did that 10-hour video, like I actually like getting those comments, regardless of whether you watch or not. You will subconsciously, I will be the fucking guy that did 10-hour videos on how to build a website, or the 8-hour live stream guy. I'm totally fine with that. And that's actually like a good thing, right? I'm not saying it's going to get millions of subs, because I think 99, when did I say 10 million? Let's say, I don't know if it's going to get 1 million subs, because I think 999,999 of them or whatever don't want to fucking watch, don't want to even do anything for fucking 10 hours. They just want to make money as fast as possible and not rip people off, but like that's not their thing, is to like get better. As we said before, a lot of people are NPCs and a lot of people are whatever. But yeah, so I don't know. That's where I'm at with that. Your raw video has its own stepstones and projects, applying the same workflow in your projects. Each one, yeah, we'll work on it. I appreciate it. Okay, where are we at here? I do probably need I thought I was going to be here for an hour and a half, and we're here for this long. So let's see if we can get something here quickly. All right, confirm thumbnail rendering approach. HTML and CSS playwright recommended. Let's try both. Auto cut via remove for any guest photo. I know this is going to suck. I'd actually like to use, funny, we were talking about Theo. I've been using Pick Thing, which is actually pretty good at removing backgrounds. I don't think it has an API though. I don't know. Might have to look into that. What do we got here? Oh man, we're too funny. Where are we at? The iSlop dudes are the only step-by-step thing I made. Yeah. Totally get a mark, consume all these. Shiny object syndrome can also cause analysis paralysis. Only consume more content, never actually flex the most important thing. Just do the fucking work. Understand how it's done, like watching a workout video. Yeah. I mean, I appreciate you guys. Like I said, these are complex things. They're nuanced. There's no one right way to do it. So I always navigate it like I do all this stuff. But yeah, I mean, I think somebody out here has got to be doing the work, and maybe it's the differentiator now, maybe it's not forever. But like I said, I don't see people doing it like this. I love all the guys, and I love that they're blowing up, and hopefully I'll have my time to, continue to move forward. I think I will, because I already see the patterns, but, I don't want to necessarily do it like that. It's just, I'll figure it out. I'll figure out how to do it without just the shiny object shit. Because the shiny object shit's cool, but I just think that you're going to wake up one day and you're going to have like half your fucking, I mean, it might happen anyway, but like I feel like the percentage of people, because let me tell you a real quick story too while this is fucking doing this. I've already done that. Like that's already happened to this channel. The trajectory of this channel went from, I don't know, hundreds of subscribers to like 2,000 plus subscribers from if you look at my videos, I leave all the videos public. So if you go to my videos, you click popular, there's like 2 or 3 videos there Well, most of the popular videos don't have anything to do with what I'm talking about now, because I've had this channel for a long time and it was my personal channel. And I don't want to hide this stuff because I like the archive, which is, again, some people be like, oh, hide the shit. I don't know. I don't care. I made videos that had like 150,000 views. And I think maybe I'm off the top of my head, like 150 and I think 50,000. And they were about crypto mining. They were about a helium Bobcat miner that I bought when I was like a little into crypto. And you know what I mean? So like people subbed for that and they're definitely gone. They might be dead. They might be broke. They might be on the side of the street. They might not even be real people. So my thing is like, that's the nature of YouTube. That's going to happen over time, but I'd like to not exacerbate it. Like all the people that have subbed kind of since then, first of all, you never obviously get like the sub to view count is never like 1-to-1 obviously, but all the people that have subscribed since then, I think have at least been like kind of into like WordPress and technology and now AI. So I'm going to still lose people like that. But I think that for the foreseeable future, that's what I'd like to continue to move towards. And I don't want to do it in a way where I'm just going to like wake up one day, I'm going to have, because I see this at a lot of different places. They have like, you know, hundreds of thousands of subscribers and they get like 1,000 views on their videos. And it's not all about views. It's not about volume of views. It's about attracting the right viewers, which I'd rather optimize for that, which I actually, in a backward ass way, I am, because I don't want people that like are just going to like come in, maybe pay for the community and stuff like that. Modern Builder Society, link in the description. And then just like not want to work. Or not, it's not even fucking work. Like they don't want to sit here and they don't want to talk into their fucking computer. They just want to like, they want like the quickest way possible, download all the shit and just like start selling random stuff. People don't get it. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. That's just where I'm at. I don't know. All right. Can we do something? The only blocker is module A is now per episode. Guest one-liner, guest thing. Okay. Okay. Is it actually doing something or are we just building this? Okay. I've kind of lost the plot here because I've been live streaming while I'm doing this. And have you built stuff yet here? Like, do we have what I'd love to do in like the next, you know, couple minutes here, if possible, is I would love to just try this. I know it's not going to work. Okay. It's the first try, but I do need to end this live stream pretty soon. I'd like to just see like where we're at. What have we built so far? And can we do any test, or what do we have to do to just get to just a simple test of, just literally just to see that it is possible? Because a lot of people are going to think like they would like look at this. They would read like the description of what we did here, the summarized version. And they'd be like, you can't fucking do that. Like, and you really can. Like, it's not even that hard, and it could have been done without AI. My keyboard off. My keyboard is off. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing. The funny part here is like, we're building with AI, right? I'll say this because I have to start saying shit that I think is duh, but it might not be duh. We're building with AI. I tell my dad this all the time. My dad, if you're watching this, love you, dog. If like we've built some cool stuff for him and like and what he's done in his job and stuff, and I have yet to make the videos. But the thing is, I tell him all the time, and he's perfect avatar because he knows that there's so much that can be done. But here's the thing: what you're doing is you're taking a probabilistic tool in an LLM that has a bunch of training data, and then but it doesn't do things well when you give it the task over and over again, right? Like people are Cowork actually solves this problem a little bit because I think they write scripts that are more deterministic rather than hitting the LLM every single time. Like so every morning you say, hey, write me a briefing, right? And you want it to be a certain format. And it's not going to write in the same format every single time. Like it kind of can with a skill, but it's not going to be always perfect, especially if you get like more technical with it. You need the actual scripting part to make it deterministic. And before I realized this, I was like, what do all these terms mean? But ultimately, what we're doing here is we're using like a probabilistic tool, probabilistic technology, calling tools to do shit like these bash commands and all this stuff to write deterministic programs, like programming, code, right? And then we're running the code instead of asking the LLM when we're done to do the shit like most people start doing, which is understandable, instead of asking the LLM to do the same shit every fucking time, which is never going to get the same answer, we're just using the code that we created with the LLM, right? Now that's, again, feels like a duh thing to me, but that's literally the whole thing. It's like we're getting out of this scary probabilistic this is like, you know, fragileness, and we're building things that are no longer that. And the reason I said that is because, like, we could have built this whole thing without AI. Maybe there's a little bit of AI maybe layered in here, actually. That's one thing that we'd have to think about, because if we do it in here, then we could use it, like AI would kind of like the AI would be like Claude, like working in here. But if we wanted to deploy this, then we'd probably need like an API key so we could utilize Claude, you know, or whatever model, doesn't fucking matter. Like we'd have to utilize it some other way if we're inferring stuff, you know what I mean, from transcripts and shit. So we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, but that's not right now. Oh, okay. What? Okay. Why is this an MP3? Mix it to or something. Okay. I don't know if I should try this, but I'll try it. Hold your ears. Jake.
Hey.
I guess it worked. But that's not even the beginning. That's the beginning of the whole episode. Shit. That's a problem. Okay. The problem with that is that was the beginning of the whole thing. Basically, I start recording in Riverside immediately when the guest joins, and then I end up like trimming it or whatever. So, but let's just think about what happened there. We had 2 video files. It ripped the audio out, and it put the audio together. So it worked. Just didn't work great. Took 1 per second to produce. Sick. Okay, real quick. Let's try one more thing here. Well, actually, maybe you can't do this. Can you only do that first part? Is that the only part that we did? Oh yeah. Okay, so nothing else works. Fuck. All right. Well, we've only built 1 fucking module. Great. One thing real quick is, regardless of if we put this here or somewhere else, maybe we trim it at the end or something. There is a problem. So I just want you to note this, okay? The problem is I looked at that, and that's great. That does seemingly work. I could hear both people, and you didn't have anything that you could have cheated, you know, to make that work. So that seemingly it does work. One problem is, though, that when I get into Riverside, when the guest joins, it automatically starts recording. And there's a place in this transcript where I kind of say, like, are you ready to go? And then I say, like, and then I kind of like almost like, I don't reintroduce him, but I say, like, hey Jake, or something like that. I don't know if there's any way we're going to be able to programmatically do that, but like, I do think that will be a theme where the beginning of the recording technically is not actually the beginning of where I'd want the episode to begin, obviously post intro. So is there any way we can kind of like maybe fix that or just talk about that real quick, and then we'll kind of maybe wrap the stream up or something? I feel good. You know, I feel good about this. Like, this is just like, I like doing that. I like thinking, you know, I don't like typing. I don't like clicking. I like thinking. I probably should have realized this a long time ago and built a more profitable business where I could hire other people to do the work. But you know what? I don't really want to manage people either. You know what I mean? I like managing clankers. So, Mark, what are you using to live stream? So this is, can I pull it in and do like a little, actually, hang on a second. Let me see if this works. This might work here. If I go, hang on. I was going to go performance mode. Oh, there we go. You should be able to see that, maybe. I think, possibly, if I'm thinking about it correctly. So like this is you know, this is it. It's OBS. It's just OBS. I mean, I could tell you the long story. I'll keep it short. I used a bunch of different shit. I landed here because this is the best of the best. So on the left-hand side here and on the right-hand side, well, is it the left-hand side? The left-hand side is from YouTube. So I'm streaming directly via YouTube. I need to make a video on this fucking shit still. But on the right side is Social Stream Ninja. That is great, but it's not working today for some reason. Branch Output is another amazing thing too. I would highly recommend this free plugin. You can like record like just your face or just your right screen, your left screen or whatever. Obviously I have the sources and I have the different scenes and everything here. And right now I'm like streaming to YouTube, which is again kind of like built into this essentially. And then I have I'm recording as well. And what was I going to say? Just real quick on that. I used Restream. Restream's fine. It was my favorite, especially when they had the web portal thing or when they got the web portal thing. It's really good for guests because this would be kind of harder to deal with a guest situation. And it was really easy for, you know, chat to bring it up, but I fixed the chat situation. The guest thing I don't really care about right now. And I wanted to stream 4K. And I know that my camera is fantastic. You know, the Sony A7 IV, and I wanted my shit to look good because I have 4K monitors and all that. So I couldn't do that on a web interface. So that's why I decided to do this. Also, I'm on Windows, so I couldn't use Ecamm. So yeah. Yeah, I'm happy to answer other stuff there. I do have to make a video on the second channel though about that because I've been meaning to. Just the whole setup because I've learned so much over the years. In relation to what you're doing, are you using FFmpeg? I'm told that's good as well. Yeah. For FFmpeg, yeah, that's what I mean is like with all this stuff, like there's so much like free shit that, I mean, it's free. It's like open source software that like that is so good at doing things, but you would have had to know how to implement it before. And now you don't really have to know the intricacies. You could just like say like, this is what I want to do. And then you could like ask like, hey, what's the best? Give me the pros and cons. Let me analyze that and let's build some cool shit. How are you pulling the stream? How are you pulling the stream on the left? The chat on the left? Is that what we mean? If we're talking about the chat on the left, is it Social Stream? I don't think it's Social Stream Ninja. I think what it is setting up YouTube in OBS. I think. And then there's like an act, it's not RMTP anymore or anything like that. It's actual like there's like an actual native integration and then it brings the chat directly in like that. It's like an OAuth into YouTube. Yeah. Derek, what's up? Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Okay, where are we at here? You do have to have decent internet speed. Like, do you have Verizon 5? Oh yeah, I have gigabit Fios, hardwired. Yeah. Yeah, chat. Yeah. Obviously, you have to have good internet. Yeah, I kind of overlooked that. But yeah, gigabit, Ethernet, into the Sony or the. Hang on a second. I'll give you this for now. Hi, Josh. I can't really drop a link in here right now, but my vibe coded website that I love so much. There you go. Even the Astro, pretty cool. See if this works. That's what I'm looking at right there. So you can see all that on the tools page of the website. Okay. Let's finish this because I'm getting hungry and I want to go see my child. Log in 3 places. And project members still don't get lost. Okay, DLDR for stream wrap, the pre-roll, post-roll, this real episode has it. The solution is lives in modern module 5. Okay. All right. I think it's going to take a long time to build all the other fucking modules, so I really don't like necessarily do all that right now. I feel a little bad because like we didn't really see anything crazy here, but just know that this thing works. I know this was like 3 hours or whatever of more work that, you know, wasn't sizzle real highlight stuff, but you know, I don't really actually recently I haven't even been doing like a lot of work on these live streams, but I do really like we might do more of the working and like the conversating if you guys are into that. I think there's like some value there. But I do appreciate that feedback. I'm gonna do more raw stuff, but I need to do like highlight reel things. That is good. That is good stuff. To kind of get the people in, and then if they want to go over there and see that, that would be helpful. I'm just not gonna do just the highlight reels. That's not something that's in my best interest personally, that I feel. But yeah, so we've shipped it. We have this full architecture plan. I'm honestly kind of considering. Are you saying that you can just like start building the rest of it right now and kind of like rip through everything, or do we have blockers? Let's just see what this says. I know this is going to take probably like at least 10 minutes. It's going to take at least 10 minutes to automate your time. It's so funny. I'm so spoiled now. Oh my God. It's going to take at least 10 minutes to save you hours and hours and hours and hours of time. What a world to live in. The funny part is that when it says it's going to take like 4.5 hours, 4 or 5 hours, it's like, bro, no, I'm not doing it. You're doing it. It's like, oh, I'll take 5 minutes. What do we got? 0 blockers I can build right now. Need API keys from you for Deepgram and Anthropic. Why Anthropic? Why do we need it for Anthropic? Is it going to deploy this? Is it thinking about deploying it? What's the asset generation? Is that the... Maybe it wants to deploy it. I don't think it built it like that, though. Real quick, I'll say one other thing here. I know other people are talking about this. I watched the heady stuff, right? I'm not... Like, I would be comfortable... I mean, I guess this is kind of like a Hermes, open clock question too, but I would be comfortable running my business out of Claude Code, but not everyone would. People don't understand that you could literally build like your entire... I mean, some people are understanding it now because like the big guys are talking about the AIOS shit and all that sort of stuff. And, I've talked about it, but I haven't fully, like... I don't say I haven't fully built it. I haven't fully built it, but I haven't like fully put it together as far as like my thought process on it. But I think the real big question is, because this isn't answered. Even if people tell you this is answered, it's not. It's like, where are business owners going to run their business from? I don't think they're going to run it from in here, but you could. But again, as soon as you take it out of here and you don't rely on your subscription anymore and like on Claude Code or whatever, or Codex or what have you, then now you have to start. Now it's like you're literally, it's like business in an app, instead of business on your desktop with AI, augmented and hooked into it a little bit. I don't know. I'm still navigating that one. But I think there's... It fucking says 2 hours. There's no way. Yeah. 3 hours. 3 hours. My ass. It's so funny because could even a dev do it in 3 hours? You know what I mean? Like, where is it getting this from? It's just like random. Yeah, I don't know. It's just an interesting thing. When I see this Anthropic thing, I just think about that immediately as like, do we... Like, would the idea be to put this somewhere, And the idea is not. Like, it shouldn't be. But the problem with, like, Hermes and stuff that I was running into is, like, again, I don't want that only on my computer. I want that centralized runtime everywhere. And I know I could use Discord, and I know I could use all of that shit, but that's not a fun experience. I don't even understand the experience entirely for some reasons, in some ways. It's because, like, you have to, like, clear your sessions or whatever the hell you have to do. You can't see your past chats. I really do think, just another random thought here, I really do think that a lot of people, they've at least come to be a little bit familiar with, but I think it resonates with them, that idea of like the chat interface, our standardized chat interface now with GPT and Claude and all that, where the chats are on the left-hand side, like the history of your chats, and then you're talking like a basically like a text thread, right? I think that's super-natural, like, not scary, not ghostly, but supernatural, for a lot of people, and I just can't get behind the idea of just, like, shooting messages flying fucking blind in, like, a Discord or a Telegram. I don't get it. But maybe that's just me, and maybe I'm old. I don't know. Still thinking about that one. Anything else here? Need asset files, intros, okay. Need real engineering time, no blockers. 25 hours. That's fucking funny. No blockers, keep okay. Set up keys. Yeah, just keep going. You know, I don't know. Just tell it to do its thing, you know what I mean? That helps more than you know. I want to start streaming myself. Go for it. Absolutely go for it, Anthony. Yeah, seriously, go for it. You don't have to stream in 4K too. I mean, like I would just say if you're gonna try to stream in OBS, or if you're gonna try to stream to just YouTube, you could multi-stream. You can multi-stream from like a bunch of different places too. I used to multi-stream from Streamlabs OBS or whatever back in the day. I wouldn't even do Streamlabs OBS. I would just do OBS. I would do if you're going to do OBS, do OBS. If you want to pay for something, make it a little simpler, but then you're paying for something, maybe restream. You could do StreamYard. I fucking hate StreamYard. I think the quality is terrible. But all the web-based ones are going to be pretty bad. Unless you're on Mac and you want to pay for Ecamm, that one seems like the only good one, from my opinion. But again, if you're streaming in 1080, maybe it's fine regardless. The problem is, I will tell you one problem, okay, that you're going to run into. If you stream this type of shit where this text is small, like it's probably a little small on the screen and I'm already zoomed in because it's 4K monitor and all that sort of stuff. If you stream anything where the text is small, you have to pretty much be in 1080 though. Like you can't be in 720. And I think some of those platforms, they don't let you be in 1080 for like free plans or low tier plans. So just be careful of that. But the cool part about OBS is like you don't have to pay for anything. It's just limited on your hardware and your internet connection, which your internet connection is always going to be a bottleneck. Those would be my thoughts. But one other thing, Meld Studio. If you want to try that out, I'll tell you to. If you don't want to go, I wouldn't do this personally because I tried it and I don't think it's as good as OBS, but this is what some other cool kids use. I don't know what the fuck is going on here, but yeah. That's kind of cool though. Little mouse. That's what I would say there. Where were we? Okay. I don't think this is going to take 25 hours, but it's probably not going to take 2 minutes. So I think we're probably going to wrap this. I will either do this in another live stream or I will make a video on kind of the process, maybe do a raw session potentially. I don't know. Maybe I'd like put them together. I don't know. Probably not. Maybe I'll just do a simple something and be like, hey, here's the thing. Whatever. But I needed to do this today. So I'm happy. Thank you guys for being with me and kind of like starting this. Cause like, I think this could be really cool and could be valuable for some people. Obviously it's very customized, but like the process of doing it, you just got to do more. You can't be worried about like shit taking more time on the front end, because the more reps you have in here, the better you're going to continue to be. I truly believe that, because I was 6 months ago, I'd never touched Claude Code, and now I feel like this is like a life-changing thing. And I don't say that lightly, because a lot of people say like every fucking new model is life-changing. God bless them, but seriously, I don't want to go back to anything else. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah. There's just so much to learn in OBS, no online streamers. So I don't need it. Yeah, there's a lot in OBS, but I'd say take it one step at a time. If you go over there, just make it simple. Don't go crazy at first. It will give you the most customization. Meld would be easier if you're completely new to it. So maybe that, but yeah, that's all, guys. Appreciate you all. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate you. I'm going to try to continue to do these every single week. 11 a.m. Eastern on Thursdays. Might miss some, might not, don't know. If you want to work with me, if you're a business somehow and you're watching this shit, if you want to work with me. Link in the description to work with me. Advisory calls down there as well. If you need some help, we can book hourly calls there. Modern Builder Society. You want to navigate this stuff with a room full of builders that are navigating this, alongside me and so many other people. Link down there as well. Price goes up when we hit 50 members. We're at like 21, 29. I can't remember the numbers, but the stats update real time on the website. AI, cool, awesome, we love it. Cool. Last question here. My thing is, I recorded several videos I need to edit. Was thinking of using Claude Code. Do you have any video editing, cutting, adding subs? I dread editing, can't afford to hire someone. I'm doing that right now. I need to make a video on this and the automated anything. Stay tuned for it. I will put it on. I'll put it up on fucking. Basically, it could be like a cool boilerplate thing for you on like GitHub or whatever. I'll make it available. It might be behind like I might make it a lead magnet. Okay, so sue me with the email stuff, because I think that could be good. But I will make it available for no money somewhere at some point, as soon as I get this squared away, as soon as Claude takes care of this. So stay tuned for that. That's a great idea though. Appreciate you guys. All right, that's all I got. Thank you so much. As always, I will talk to you guys in the next one. See you later.